You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Happening now on Fox 17 News This Morning, Super Tuesday primary election results are wrapping up and the votes are rolling in. We're going to have the latest on the nationwide and local contest. Plus, a bouncer at a local honky-tonk is now facing charges after a patron is critically injured. We're going to tell you what led up to it.
And the forecast, showers on the radar for right now. We'll see when they finally exit later today and talk thunderstorms into your weekend.
Well, thank you, Greg, and thank you for watching us right here on Fox 17 News this morning, just after 4 a.m. here on this Wednesday, March the 6th. I'm Justin McFarland.
My engine turned off. I'm at 1,600. I'm going to be landing, I don't know where.
That is heartbreaking audio as we've got continuing coverage on Monday night's deadly plane crash on I-40 over in West Nashville. We now know the victims included 2 adults and 3 children. Fox 17 News sharing the last radio transmission between the pilot and air traffic control before that plane crashed and burst into flames, killing everyone on board. Now, the Federal Aviation and Administration confirmed that the plane and its occupants are from Canada. Investigators are working with the Canadian Embassy to identify them. The National Transportation Safety Board says that the plane took off near Ontario, Canada, and made stops in Pennsylvania and Kentucky before making it to Nashville. The NTSB says that the pilot flew past John C. Toon Airport, that's over in West Nashville, before turning around and trying to come back for an emergency landing.
I'm declaring emergency. Do you have the airport in sight? Straight in runway 2, straight in runway 2 at John Toon. Do you have the airport?
Yes, I have the runway inside.
Runway 2, clear to land.
I'm too far away, I won't make it.
Too far away, I won't make it, is what he said. Federal investigators have taken the wreckage to Springfield, Tennessee for reconstruction. They will also look into the plane's service records and the experience of the pilot. Switching gears to politics this morning, Super Tuesday results from across the country are starting to roll in, and it's predicting what could be another showdown between President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump. Well, here in Tennessee, Mr. Trump facing off against Nikki Haley, the former South Carolina governor, with the Republican primary, and it was Donald Trump taking the win with 77% of the vote. He will receive the state's 51 delegates for the Republicans. As for the Democratic Party, it was President Joe Biden getting the overwhelming percentage of the vote here in Tennessee for the Democratic side, but almost 8% of voters chose uncommitted on the ballot. On the national stage, as votes continue to come in overnight, there was one surprise win for Nikki Haley, who took the state of Vermont, 49% to Trump's 45%. She will get the state's 9 delegates. Haley also gained delegates in a few other states as well. Her delegate total now is 86 overall. But let's not kid ourselves. It was a huge night for President Trump, who got a lot of different victories. He's racked up 870 delegates after winning 15 out of the 16 Republican contests yesterday. Well, up next for President Joe Biden, coming up tomorrow, he will deliver the State of the Union address. However, President Biden is expected to lose one primary, and that is the American territory of American Samoa. The entrepreneur on that particular island, an investor named Jason Palmer, is expected to win that contest there. Meanwhile, here in Metro Nashville, the Davidson County elections took place. It was Stephanie J. Williams with a decisive win for Circuit Court Judge. She got over 23,000 votes. You can see her there easily passing everyone else on that list, including Stan Keller, who was the sitting judge that she will replace. Let's get to Greg Bulbis now. We have voted him in as your weather person for this morning. Greg, how are we looking out there? Don't make us regret it.
We're looking pretty good, and I'll tell you by the end of the day, we look even better. We're going to see a little bit of light rainfall continue throughout this morning. I don't anticipate any thunderstorms like what we saw develop yesterday morning, but a steady blanket of some light rainfall is still out there. Not quite as warm today as it was yesterday or on Monday, but still we'll be in the middle 60s to right near 70 for the rest of this week. And then more thunderstorms going to fire Friday into Saturday. We really are getting into a spring pattern here of rain for a few days, day or two off, rain for a few days. That's how we're looking here over the course of the next week. We're going to call it wet with light rainfall as we get out the door here this morning. It's not going to be a big time issue, but definitely a little bit of standing water in a few spots and some ponding. Some areas had over 1 inch to 2 inches of rain yesterday, and the rain still comes down, mainly east of 65 and south of I-40. Very much so. A lot of the areas that saw most of our rainfall yesterday. So let's zoom into the Nashville area. You can see that this is really going to be a system that continues to very, very slowly move off to the north and the east. We'll put some tracks on this for you. We'll get it out of here and let you know what you can expect for upcoming weekend coming up in your code red forecast. Justin.
All right, Greg, thank you so much. 4:05 is the time. Let's take a quick look at steer clear traffic, and we're going to go over to Donaldson Pike at I-40 near the airport. You can see out there traffic moving along just fine. We did have that overnight rain that Greg was just telling you about, but despite that, we have not had a lot of accidents out there on the roads. We really haven't. We are clear right now as far as accidents are concerned. Looking at the list from Metro Police, for instance, their last reported accident was just before 2 o'clock this morning, so nothing over the past couple of hours. Continuing our search this morning for Sebastian Rogers, and really it's the Sumner County Sheriff's Office is leading that search, and they are reporting that there are no new leads. The 15-year-old autistic boy disappeared last Monday, and deputies say they are scaling back their search at this point. Fox 17 News on top of the search for Sebastian since day one. You can see all of our reporting online, fox17.com. Just search Sebastian. Operation Crime and Justice this morning. A Midtown bouncer is now facing criminal charges after police say he put a man in the hospital. Police say that it was Richard Cornelius who hit Austin Turner outside of the Tin Roof Bar on Division Street back on February the 18th. They say that Turner fell and hit his head. Turner is in the hospital right now in extremely critical condition. His family says that the Hendersonville native was outside the bar waiting for an Uber when the whole thing happened. Police say that a fight started when Turner tried to get back inside the tin roof. Cornelius has been released on a $25,000 bond. Well, coming up, a driver charged with hitting a mid-state teenager is going to be in court. We're going to tell you what to expect in the trial's second day. And a
high scores and an exciting finish.
More than 500,000 clues.
Look at this. We got a game going.
2 hosts.
Let's play
Jeopardy.
1 Jeopardy.
Wow, what a great game.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
4:10 is the time here on this Wednesday morning in Operation Crime and Justice. We are now heading into a second day of testimony in the city of St. Louis. That is where a man is accused of severely injuring a mid-state teenager in a car crash. Now, prosecutors say that 21-year-old Daniel Riley sped through a downtown St. Louis intersection last February. 17-year-old Janae Edmondson was in St. Louis for a volleyball tournament when she was pinned between a couple of cars and ended up losing both of her legs. Yesterday, Edmondson's father testified about the moments after the crash. Riley was charged with assault, armed criminal action, and driving without a license. He was supposed to be on house arrest at the time of that crash. Well, today, those who could be impacted by a plant going up in Cheatham County, at a gas plant to be exact, well, they're going to have a chance to weigh in for themselves. Now, Fox 17 News has told you about TVA's plan to use hundreds of acres for this project, not even counting the transmission lines. Now, TVA sent out notices to people in Robertson and Cheatham counties whose property could be included in part of the plan. Now, TVA is holding an open house today from noon till 7 at the Hampton Inn in Ashland City, and at the same time tomorrow as well. Those living nearby, county leaders and leaders from several Cheatham County cities have gone on the record saying they are against this gas plant. We'll see what officials decide. Let's get to Greg. Look at your forecast.
4:11 your time here, taking a look at the rain that is currently on the radar and where it's going to be heading here throughout the morning. You can see basically everywhere south of I-40 some decent, steady rainfall. A few just little pockets of it if you get north of I-40. And here's how it's moving. The direction of movement is very slow. This is the last 2 hours, and it's going to take a little while for this to get out of here throughout this morning. Good bet that there's still some rain hanging near the Nashville area through about 7, 8 o'clock. Taking a look, some heavier rainfall. Crossville moving in the next couple of minutes here. There's a decent batch. Now, no lightning has been indicated here for the last 3-4 hours, so it's not like yesterday morning where thunderstorms could develop. This just will be that steady rainfall that adds to our totals. Some areas have seen 1 to 2 inches of rain already. Thunderstorms into the weekend. We'll get a break in the rain late today. Your Thursday stays dry, and then Friday into Saturday is our next good chance for some rain. You can see visibility not perfect over downtown because of that rain coming down. Be careful heading out the door. We'll look at future track and your 7-day forecast in about 5 minutes.
Steer clear traffic this morning at 4:12. Quick look here at the airport exit here at I-40 at Dallas and Pike out there near the airport. Things are extremely wet out there, but no accidents to tell you about. We're doing fine. Same can be said for I-24, Hickory Hollow Parkway. As you make that drive down near the Tanger outlets over there, things also moving along just fine. No big problems there this morning so far. But with the wet conditions like this, things can change quickly. We'll be watching all morning live through 9. Well, coming up, an election shakeup as one senator says that she will not be running again. We're going to tell you what this could mean for the primary contest and more.
Power and cutting-edge precision with a first-of-its-kind 3-link suspension and a style all their own. Because you're not everyone, and that's a good thing. Bad boy, Mo with an attitude.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Let's take a quick look over near Geodis Park. That is, of course, home of Nashville SC. The boys in gold will be facing off against Inter Miami and Lionel Messi in the CONCACAF Championship. I've had a tough time saying it the whole time they've been doing it. It's the CONCACAF Championship Cup, round of 16. Lowest price to get in right now is about $80. Kickoff is set for tomorrow, 8 p.m. Get a chance to watch a little soccer royalty over there. All right, independent senator from Arizona, Kristen Sinema, has announced that she will not be running for a second term. Sinema citing growing partisanship as the reason for her departure. Now, listen to Sinema as she explains her actions.
I believe in my approach, but it's not what America wants right now. I love Arizona, and I am so proud of what we've delivered. Because I choose civility, understanding, listening, working together to get stuff done, I will leave the Senate at the end of this year.
Now, Sinema was a Democrat for most of her political career, but left the party to become an independent back in 2022. Her decision to not seek re-election means that Arizona will avoid a potential messy 3-way contest for her Senate seat. The Democrat Ruben Gallego, as well as the Republican Kari Lake, are looking to replace her. Well, top U.S. diplomats are urging Israeli officials to let more aid get into Gaza. They are calling the place, quote, unacceptable right now.
The current situation is unacceptable and unsustainable. And while the United States is doing everything it can to increase deliveries into Gaza, Israel must take additional steps as well.
United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken met with the Israeli War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz on yesterday. But Mr. Gantz is a rival of the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and officials say he does not represent the government during this particular visit. The White House is exploring more options to get more aid into Gaza by land, by air, and by sea. Texas officials are still working to try and control several record-breaking wildfires that are burning right now in the Texas Panhandle. The largest fire is the Smokehouse Creek fire. It is only 37% contained right now. It's burned well over 1 million acres and destroyed around 500 structures. It is now the largest in state history. Authorities say that the fires killed at least 2 civilians and a fire chief. Officials warn that the fire weather will be returning a little bit later this week. News from the Capitol this morning. There is a bill aimed at better regulating the parking and towing companies across the state of Tennessee. Now, State Senator Jack Johnson, he's from Franklin. He says that he's got a bill that would make it illegal for anyone to put a boot on your car unless the local government licenses and regulates them. Now, Nashville already has something similar on the books as a city, but this would be statewide. He says that a boot attendant has to be available to remove it within 30 minutes of getting your call.
It might be surprising to some, but I've received calls from constituents that literally there are individuals out there that will go out somewhere and buy one of these booting devices and show up in parking lots and start putting boots on people's cars and then waiting for them to come out of the restaurant and then telling them they have to pay $200 or something in order to get that boot removed.
Now, this bill would cap booting fees at $75 on the towing front if a tow truck has your car but has not left the lot. They have to put it down if you agree to pay a release fee that is not to exceed $100. So they're trying to lower the cost here, doing people held hostage sometimes in some of these situations. Let's talk about the weather. The rain is falling in certain situations across the mid-states, falling right here in Nashville overnight. What about the rest of the state, and what about the rest of the day?
Let's take a look here. Not everyone's seeing rain right now, and kind of the same places that saw it yesterday morning are the same ones that are seeing it this morning. So we're talking about mainly areas that are south of I-40 and east of I-65. Now, we're not talking that just because I put those two markers on the map that people that are in other areas are not going to see a sprinkle or a shower, but the majority of the rainfall is there. Taking a look, a very ominous picture this morning. A little bit gloomy with the rain coming down, a little patchy fog mixed into it. But here's the future setup here on the future track. This will continue to swirl in a circular motion and move its way toward the east throughout this morning. Here's 11 a.m. If you look really closely, though, there are still a few areas of some greenish gray. So a few light sprinkles are going to linger into the late stages of this morning and then even into the late stages of the afternoon. Here's 5 p.m. if you're out toward the Cumberland Plateau. So the more west you are, the quicker you get rid of the rain and the quicker you can maybe even see a little bit of sunshine before sunset. Overnight, we're dry. Tomorrow, completely dry. This has been a good rain, though. We've had no severe weather. We've put down a good 1 to 2 inches of rain already, and it's been very steady. We need that for the drought that we've been in. However, going into Friday, here's midnight into Friday morning. That's our next weather maker. We do bring in some more rain, so enjoy your dry Thursday. Things do pick up pretty quickly going into Friday. 65 degrees this afternoon. Current temps right side of your screen all the way through 9 a.m. 70 degrees tomorrow, 68 on Friday. We cool down into the weekend, fairly rainy on Saturday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Quick look at I-24 Waldron Road. That drive coming in from Rutherford County, we're looking just fine out there. No big problems in either direction. We've been checking in with steer clear traffic, and we've been doing really well so far out there. Of course, if anything changes, we'll be sure to let you know. Steer clear traffic live and local with you through 9 o'clock. Well, coming up, a heartbreaker at Bridgestone Arena last night for the Predators. The highlights and one wild shot from the game. And a basketball team.
Get the idea. Now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
.424 is the time the Nashville Predators took on the Montreal Canadiens last night. But thanks to a very unlucky shot and a few more plays, of course, it was time for the Canadiens, and they snapped the Preds' winning streak. Now, the Canadiens were down 2-0 in the second period, and then they were able to finally get one past UC Soros, who'd been playing so well for the Preds. A little bit later, a really crazy bounce off the glass and into the goal there somehow, some way. Look at that. Look at this. It's almost a trick shot. What in the world? Okay, but that counts, and the Canadiens remain on the board. We went into overtime in this ball game, or hockey game. A few seconds in, the Canadiens put another biscuit in the basket. They ended up snapping the Preds' 8-game winning streak, and they won in overtime at Bridgestone Arena. But the Nashville Predators still in good shape over in the NHL Western Conference. As you can see with the standings here, the Predators remain in good shape to try and get that last playoff spot. The Preds with 73 points there seem to be tied with the Golden Knights, of course, giving themselves some distance there between the St. Louis Blues and the Seattle Kraken, who are both at 67 points there in the NHL. Right now, it would be the Golden Knights and the Preds making the playoffs, with the Blues and the Kraken on the outs. Members of Dartmouth's men's basketball team made history by voting to unionize yesterday. Now, this makes members of the Big Green the very first college athletes to vote to join a union. The final vote was 13-2, according to the National Labor Relations Board. The vote could have the potential to change college sports in America, according to some, especially in the two biggest revenue sports of football and basketball. Dartmouth players are not paid, but the NLRB says they are compensated in terms of room and board, as well as academic support, apparel, and free tickets. Dartmouth immediately announced plans to appeal the decision. We'll see where it goes.
4:36 your time, taking a look at your code red forecast. Zooming back into top of the radar, green indicating just light, steady rainfall here this morning. However, there are some areas, if you get out toward the plateau, where we're seeing some yellows and some oranges popping up. We're not getting any thunder or lightning, but these are the areas where the rain is a little more consistently heavy, and it also limits visibility much more. So keep that in mind as you're heading out. We're definitely using the low beams this morning, and we are making sure we're giving ourselves a little extra time, because there could even be some standing water in some spots after at least an inch of rain came down for many of us yesterday. You can get the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You can track what's coming in this weekend, because showers move in Friday into Saturday. 62 degrees on Saturday, 56 on Sunday. There is that dip in temperature thanks to a cold front that's moving in. Sunday looks dry, but definitely almost more fall feeling with the damp atmosphere we're going to have going into your Sunday. So this is going to be one of those weeks where the one dry day we have between now and Sunday is going to be tomorrow. We'll track when the rain finally makes its way out of here for today and carry you into that upcoming weekend as we go into our 4:30 half hour.
Steer clear traffic takes us out to I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side. You can see traffic moving along despite the fact it is extremely wet out there after overnight rain has pushed through the area. Still no major accidents out there on the interstates. We're doing really nicely. We're going to check in on your latest drive times coming up in the next few minutes. Well, also coming up, a Clarksville man accused of a crime there after he has been arrested. We're going to tell you about the several different cases that he is facing crimes in coming up in a few.
And weight management, and subsequently suffered injuries. You may be entitled to compensation. Call Bart Durham Injury Law at 615-242-9000 for a free case evaluation.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, investigators are piecing together the timeline of a plane crash that killed 5 people Monday night. We've got the last recordings of the pilot and a few more details to share. Plus, residents of some Nashville neighborhoods are very worried about new zoning rules that would change their particular areas. We'll explain.
Waking up here to some fog and some light rain showers, and the rain finally takes a hike for a little while, and then already tracking another weather maker moving into the weekend.
Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Justin McFarland, just after 4:30 here on this Wednesday morning.
The aircraft tumbled, came to rest on the hill behind me, and burst into flames.
Continuing coverage this morning of that small plane crash along I-40 on Monday night. We now know that unfortunately 3 children and 2 adults were killed in that crash. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar has been following this story since the beginning. She joins us live with the latest on this investigation. Karen.
Good morning, Justin. Well, the NTSB determined the plane departed from Canada, made a couple stops before ultimately crashing behind this Costco here on the right side past those trees alongside I-40 East. Now, it's too dark to show you the actual location at this moment, but we can give you some additional details. We do know that the plane was headed towards John Seatoon Airport before it ultimately took the lives of 5 people. I want you to take a look at your screen to see what the wreckage looked like. NTSB was on scene for hours trying to get more information on what could have happened. During a press conference yesterday, Aaron McCarter, the air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, said the 5 Canadians on board included 2 adults and 3 children, as you mentioned. At this time, we don't know who they are or if some of them were family members, but NTSB is working with the Canadian Embassy to identify them. What we can share with you is the heartbreaking call the pilot made to air traffic control before they lost their lives. We warn you, this might be disturbing to hear. Take a listen.
Are you trying to land at Johnson?
My engine turned off. I'm at 1,600. I'm going to be landing. I don't know where.
Investigators say the plane was taken to Springfield, Tennessee, for them to find out more information about the crash. Now, the investigation on the scene is only a small part of the entire scope picture of things. So investigators say that there will be a preliminary report in about 10 days. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, thank you so much. Well, detectives are investigating the shooting death of a teenager that happened on Monday night. Police say that it was 16-year-old Henry C. Taylor who was found lying in North Nashville in the street with a gunshot wound to his chest. Taylor died at a hospital. Police say shots were likely fired between different people in the 500 block of Lamont Drive. If you know anything about this, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. Tough questions for the Metro Council members after a potential zoning change leads to a bit of an uproar. Under the plan, builders would be able to tear down a single-family home and put up condos. And because of that, many people in the area are just not happy. Now, Trish James lives just off of Darden Place in Hillwood, a neighborhood that would be impacted by the Metro Bill number 185 and 186 that have caused lots of controversy. James says they've been trying to add their input into this process, but have been denied for both Zoom and in-person meetings. Now, Metro Council members like Jacob Kubin are introducing this legislation for multiple family and 2-family use homes to try to create a wider variety of housing types within a neighborhood to address affordability issues.
This is not going to solve affordable housing completely across the board, but it does give a tool to allow for slightly smaller units with increased density.
I don't think it would have much of an impact. The way that it's proposed, it doesn't do anything, or there's no evidence to show that it will address affordable housing. What it will do is it's create more housing, but as we've seen in other areas across town, more housing doesn't mean lower cost housing.
Well, Jennifer Gamble, as well as Councilmember Kubin, who support this legislation with some modifications. They also believe more conversations need to be had for this rezoning proposal to move forward. In the meantime, Metro Councilmember Kubin says that these bills have been deferred for now. They're still in first reading and will be discussed at their council meeting coming up here on April the 2nd. However, Kubin says Kubin has said that there could be many of these bills deferred until next year.
4:35, looking at the radar here for you this morning. Going to focus on the metro area, just getting moving here on a Wednesday. So we're getting closer and closer to the end of the week. A few showers that are a little on the heavier side, tracking away from the viewing area now. If you're in Mount Juliet, you had rain. You've got about a 10-minute break until rain moves back in. If you need to get outside for any reason, little window of opportunity. And taking a look here, Nashville, kind of trying to wrap up these showers that have been on and off throughout this morning here, the last 2 hours or so. But there's a little gap here. Put a little timer here when it comes to the distance between the next little batch of rain and where we're at right now. It's about a 12-mile span. This is going about 20 miles per hour, so you'll have about a 10-minute window to get out there once the raindrops do stop for a little bit. They're going to come in waves throughout the entire morning, and then things die down for the afternoon. We cool into the weekend. 50s by the time we get to Sunday. We had 78 on Monday, and it's been the stair step down the entire time. Next, Weathermakers timing is going to be Friday into Saturday. We'll focus on that in your 7-day forecast. Track it all coming up in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get out to I-65 at Armory Drive. This is on the south side of town, and as you can see, traffic there is doing just fine, even though things are pretty wet out there after overnight rain has moved through the area. So heads up on that. Overall drive times look like this. Mount Juliet in at 27 minutes. Murfreesboro 48 minutes. Franklin 26 minutes in from the south side. We continue to follow things, let you know what we find. Steer clear traffic live through 9. Coming up, Alabama lawmakers are working on a bill that could restore IVF to the state. We're going to tell you when that could happen. And a Christian university is fined 14
with 27 competitors.
This is the biggest tournament of champions ever.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
.440 is the time. Clarksville police have arrested a man who is now facing several charges. 45-year-old Kenneth Moore of Clarksville is charged with aggravated robbery, aggravated assault, and more. Police say that Moore is a suspect in several other investigations as well. Legislation that would restart in vitro fertilization in Alabama could become law by later tonight or possibly tomorrow. The state House and Senate are poised for votes later today there in Alabama. They are in response to a state Supreme Court ruling last month calling frozen embryos a child. Lawmakers say they want to create a shield from legal liability. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey says she expects passage and will sign the legislation. In the meantime, clinics say they are on hold because they fear civil and criminal penalties. Liberty University has agreed to pay $14 million worth of fines because of its failure to disclose information about crimes on its campus. It's the largest ever fine levied under the Clarity Act, which requires federal-funded colleges to collect data on campus crime. The Christian school in Virginia brands itself as one of the nation's safest campuses, but the United States Department of Education says it underreported crimes, especially sexually based offenses, and only had one police officer. The university says it will cooperate with the department. Let's go to Greg Belvis. Look at your forecast.
441 starting off a look at Lower Broadway here, and you can actually see the rain hitting the pavement. This is not one of those days where they washed everything down overnight. No, rain coming down downtown as we speak. Current temperatures are still on the warmer side because of the cloud cover. We're in the upper 50s, right near 60. We'll stay that way throughout this morning, but showers are the name of the game, and they continue to dominate a lot of the radar here for us. Light to moderate rainfall. Now we have ponding in some areas because of the rain we had yesterday and into the overnight. An inch to 2 inches of rain locally in some spots. Light rainfall will continue throughout the morning. The afternoon and evening looking much better when it comes to rainfall, so keep that in mind. But visibility is down across the board to kick off today. Here is Future Track taking us 4 a.m. through 7 and then 8 o'clock. Things lingering with us here until at least late morning. Still a few light sprinkles possible as late as 11 o'clock later today. Rain finally breaks up. Late afternoon into this evening. We get a dry day for your Thursday. We bring the rain right back on Friday. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic this morning at I-40 at White Bridge Road. This is happening over in West Nashville. You can see there the traffic doing pretty well. No big problems out there on the west side of town. A few trucks sleeping over there on the shoulder, but overall, no big deals out there to get us started. We have been fairly clean despite the fact the roads are extremely wet. We're looking for problem spots, and as soon as we find them, we'll let you know. With Steer clear traffic live through 9. Well, coming up, researchers may have found the cause of long COVID. We're going to tell you how this could help prevent future cases. And we're going to tell you how.
Relaxer. With 22 brands and the best value for your money, Choice Hotels has a stay for any you.
Stay twice and get a free night when you book direct at choicehotels.com.
Got to get the corners.
4:45 is the time here on this Wednesday morning. Federal regulators took a step towards trashing junk fees. Now, yesterday, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau finalized regulations that caps most credit card late charges at just $8. According to the agency, this will save U.S. families more than $10 billion per year. For more than 45 million people who are charged a late fee every single year, it works out to a savings of around $220 of yearly savings. Almost 2/3 of fourth graders in the United States struggle to read at grade level. Fox 17 is partnering up with Reading is Fundamental. Our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast for Sinclair Cares, is supporting children's literacy. Just scan that QR code right there on the screen to find out how you can donate to our virtual book drive. Scientists have discovered that long COVID may be triggered by low iron levels. According to the new report from the University of Cambridge, they have determined that low iron levels contributed to anemia and inflammation, blocking red blood cell productions for people 2 weeks after receiving the COVID-19 diagnosis. Now, one of the authors of the study says that bodies remove iron from the bloodstream when they have an infection, and when this happens over a long period of time, it's hard for the body to recover from the lack of iron, especially in patients who reported long COVID later on. So get that iron in your blood and into your diet. Now, if you missed the last solar eclipse that was visible in the United States back in 2017, you'll soon have another opportunity to witness this phenomenon in the heavens. Coming up here on Monday, April the 8th, a solar eclipse will be passing over North America. Jen Sullivan talks to travel experts about how you can experience the eclipse.
Do you still have those special solar eclipse viewing glasses? You may have another opportunity to use them. On April 8th, a total solar eclipse will be visible to millions of people in North America, 32 million in the U.S. alone.
I saw the last solar eclipse, and there is really something magical.
Expedia travel expert Melanie Fish says this eclipse will be visible in more areas than the Great American Eclipse in 2017.
This time, the solar eclipse covers a much more populated path of totality. So that means a lot more people are going to have a chance to see it.
A solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, casting a shadow on the earth that fully or partially blocks the sun's light, creating darkness like this during the day. Mexico's Pacific coast will experience the total eclipse first. Then the path enters the U.S. and goes up to Newfoundland, Canada. People in 15 states will be able to view the phenomenon, and lodging is already in high demand.
Availability is getting tight for hotels to stay in and vacation rentals in the path of totality.
This year's rare sight falls around spring break, which is already a popular time to travel. So book accommodations, flights, and car rentals now. For those who have the week off, Fish suggests planning an entire trip around the solar eclipse. So pick a place where there are other things to see and do. Most importantly, plan ahead.
Don't just wing it and hit the road and say, I'm going to drive to wherever the eclipse is.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Of course, a lot of us remember that 2017 solar eclipse that brought a lot of people right here to the mid-state, Greg, because we were one of the areas where the eclipse was so visible.
Yeah, and this time around, this is going to be, again, spring break. Everything, if it falls into place, hopefully gives us good viewing. That's the thing. You don't want a cloudy day.
Oh.
You make all these plans. You go somewhere, you know you're going to see it. You look up, and you got nothing.
Can't control that.
So that is the big hope here. The fingers are crossed. Obviously, way too soon to know how that day is going to look. We'll keep our eyes glued at the closer we get. Taking a look at future track. I'm going to fast forward you. Rain will end by the time we get toward early to middle afternoon today. We're dry on Thursday. Friday, though, as early as 7 a.m. A few showers begin to track into the area, and they will continue to be on the radar going into the afternoon, really more so afternoon than morning hours for Friday, and this will stay with us through the evening. Green indicating not anything thunderstorm-like, but we get into the nighttime hours. Friday into Saturday, heavier downpours and thunderstorms cannot be ruled out. Right now, they look sub-severe. If that were to change, it would be because they move in a little more quickly. If the timing holds, it'll be a little bit too cool out there, and the atmosphere just won't be woken up enough to give us anything too too strong. All of this is out of here, though, by the end of Saturday, but the first half, 2/3 of it, not looking all that good. If you want a lot of sunshine, this is not the Saturday for you. Sunday looks pretty good, though. Here's the temperature profile we're dealing with. 65 degrees today, 70 tomorrow. Again, on the drier side for tomorrow. It's a good day to run some errands or get outside and enjoy it before that rain does return Friday into Saturday. And we do turn back the clocks. Don't forget that, too. I should say turn them forward. We spring forward on Saturday into Sunday.
Okay, you don't want to get that mixed up. All
no,
right.
not at all.
Well, let's take a look at steer clear traffic this morning. I-40 at Spence Lane over on the east side of town. You can see traffic there moving along without issue. We're doing really nicely this morning, despite the fact that the rain has been falling. Remember, everyone, school back in session for a lot of different school systems out there. It was out yesterday for many people because of the primary voting, but now all that's over. The school buses will be running yet again coming up here a little bit later. Well, more people are filing their taxes for free this year compared to a year ago. The IRS says that use of its free file system is up almost 10% from last year. Around 943,000 taxpayers have used the free option through the late February season so far. You just need an adjusted gross income, of $79,000 or less to become eligible for the free file. The system lets taxpayers file for free online. You can also find the details that you need at irs.gov. Well, Colin Firth's famous wet T-shirt from the 1995 BBC Pride and Prejudice series is among the scores of costumes that are up for auction. The linen shirt could sell for up to $12,700 when it goes up for bid for buyers to try and get it. The Regency era style garment was a copy of an antique original. Other famous outfits include those worn by Drew Barrymore, Meryl Streep, Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law, Keira Knightley, Cate Blanchett, and Gwyneth Paltrow. The auction benefits an arts education charity. Depends on what they have. All right, well, coming up, voting across miles of space for 2 astronauts. Yesterday, we're going to tell you how the voting process stayed confidential, even on the International Space Station. And a rare sighting of a whale. We're going to tell you.
So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
4:55 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Live look there on Lower Broadway. I'm not sure if the streets are clean because they cleaned them, or that overnight rain pushing through. The streets look wet just about everywhere across Nashville this morning, and that heavy rain has a big part to play. We've got the very latest from Greg Bobus coming up here in the next few minutes to let you know how you can plan for your Wednesday and beyond. Well, being in space did not keep at least 2 astronauts from casting their votes yesterday. Laura O'Hara and Jasmine McBelly both cast their ballots from the International Space Station for the Texas primary. Now, according to NASA, they filled out an electronic absentee ballot in a makeshift voting booth. The encrypted document is then relayed back to Earth and sent to Mission Control in Houston, which then forwards it over to the county clerk's office. Wow, that's quite a trip to make that make your voice heard. Let's get to Greg. He's got the latest on your forecast here this morning. Greg, as we're watching more rain continue to move across the mid-state and beyond.
That we are. I zoomed out a little bit to kind of give you the bigger picture here that most of the rain is now well to our east and our southeast. That little red circle you see around Atlanta, they actually have flash flood warnings right now. So we'll keep our eyes on that for any family or friends we may have down in the Atlanta area. Back home, it really is just light to moderate rainfall that's coming down for you to start off your Wednesday morning. You can always scan the QR code to get the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. This is one of those mornings warnings where the rain is going to be in pockets, having a way to know where it's at when you're on the go and not on the TV screen, very helpful in a day like today. What does this weekend look like? We're getting closer to it. We had a few 70-degree temperatures on Monday and Tuesday. Today, middle 60s. Tomorrow, 70 if we're lucky. We're getting cooler. 62 degrees your temperature for Saturday, 56 on Sunday. The outlook for Saturday, at least the first half, 2/3 of it, showers and a few thunderstorms to work with. So just keep that in mind. The earlier in the day your Saturday plans may be, the more likely rain will be on the radar. Sunday looks dry, but it will be, again, a little on the cooler side at 56 degrees. Coming up as we go into our 5 o'clock half hour, a new look at future track, not just with this weather maker, getting the rain out of here for your Wednesday, but also talking about Friday and Saturday shower and storm chances.
Steer clear traffic for you at 458. Quick look here at what we're facing on I-40. This is at 2nd Avenue there in downtown Nashville on the South Loop. You can see their traffic moving along really nicely. No big problems in either direction out there this morning so far. We will let you know. I'm very, very surprised that we have not seen at least one accident out there considering the wet pavement. But we've been good so far in our 4 o'clock hour. But, you know, still plenty of time to go. We'll let you know exactly what happens out there on the roads live through 9. It is award season, and your movie knowledge can help you win some extra money by playing Hollywood Trivia. So grab your phones and scan this QR code right there on your screen for your chance to win a $100 prepaid debit card. Now, you can get the question correct, and then you could win the daily $100 prize. The daily prize winners will also be eligible for a chance to win a $5,000 weekly drawing. Again, just scan this QR code and go to the Hollywood Trivia question of the day. Good luck. A very unexpected sight off the Massachusetts coast. It's a gray whale that's been basically extinct in the Atlantic Ocean for more than 2 centuries. So they thought. The team from New England and the aquarium there made the discovery last Friday off the south of Nantucket there. They took pictures for nearly an hour, and these types of whales are often found in the North Pacific Ocean, but pretty much have vanished from the Atlantic by the 18th century, so they thought. However, the Aqua Realm officials say that they have had 5 sightings in the Atlantic and the Mediterranean over the past decade and a half. So it seems like they're making a comeback. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, Super Tuesday's primary elections wrapping up and the votes continuing to roll in. The latest when it comes to nationwide and local contests.
And a bouncer at a honky-tonk is facing charges right now after a customer at that honky-tonk has critical injuries.
NTSB investigators released preliminary details on the plane crash that happened along I-40 East. Coming up, I'll tell you what they had to say.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Kicking off this Wednesday morning now. Top few stories you'll want to know about before you head out the door.
Super Tuesday results still rolling in. Republican primaries marking one surprise win for Nikki Haley, who took Vermont. Former President Donald Trump sweeping the other 15 participating states. He racked up about 870 delegates compared to Haley's 86. On the Democratic side, former President Biden won every contest except American Samoa, where he lost to businessman Jason Palmer.
Overnight, Lebanon launched missiles at a town in northern Israel. Leaders say this attack had been in response to the deaths of civilians in an Israeli airstrike. And in return, Israel launched missiles at what they said was a Hezbollah outpost there in Lebanon.
And then back here closer to home, legislation that would restart in vitro fertilization over in Alabama could become law by tonight or early tomorrow. The votes in the State House and Senate are set for today. They're in response to a state Supreme Court ruling last month calling a frozen embryo a child. Alabama Governor Kay Ivey says she expects the bill to pass and will sign it.
If you can glide in there, sir. If you can glide in, they're clearing the runway for you.
Fox 17 News hearing the air traffic control conversations in the moments leading up to that small plane that crashed on I-40 Monday night. And we have now confirmed that 3 children and 2 adults all died in that plane crash.
This morning, we're hearing the final moments leading up to that crash, and we do want to warn you that hearing this audio could be difficult. Right now, though, Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live near the site of the crash with the very latest updates.
Good morning. Well, we know from NTSB investigators that, as you mentioned, 5 people were killed and they were Canadian citizens. And that included those 3 children and 2 adults. Now, it's too dark to show you exactly where the crash happened, but if you walk with me a little bit and my camera person can just push past those trees, it's exactly where it was on the right-hand side along I-40 East on the grassy part near the Charlotte Pike exit. If you take a look at your screen, you can see the wreckage. The small aircraft was in pieces and destroyed almost entirely after it was engulfed in flames. The NTSB and the FAA spent hours investigating. During a press conference yesterday, Aaron McCarter, the air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, says the plane departed from Canada, made several stops, potentially for gas, and then headed to the John C. Toone Airport. The pilot reported engine issues before crashing along I-40 East. We're going to share with you the heartbreaking audio of the pilot to air traffic control moments before the crash. We warn you, this might be disturbing to hear. Take a listen.
I'm declaring emergency. Do you have the airport in sight? Straight in runway 2. Straight in runway 2 at John Toone. Do you have the airport?
Yes, I have the runway in sight.
2, clear to land.
I'm too far away. I won't make it.
The NTSB is working with the Canadian Embassy to identify the victims. Now, the remnants of the plane have been taken to Springfield, Tennessee, for investigators to find out more about what happened. NTSB says the preliminary report will come out in 10 days. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you very much. 504, your voice, your vote, and Super Tuesday results still rolling in from across the country this morning, predicting what could be another showdown between President Biden and former President Trump.
So here in Tennessee, Mr. Trump and Nikki Haley faced off in the Republican primary, with Trump taking over a win with 77% of the vote. He is going to receive the state's 51 delegates. And for the Democratic Party, President Biden getting the expected win in Tennessee with nearly 8% of voters choosing uncommitted.
Interesting. All right. Now, when we look at some of our local races in Davidson County for Assessor of Property, Vivian Wilhoit will stay in that position with 65% of the votes. She beat Tamisha Day for that job. The Assessor of Property calculates how much a property or a business is worth for tax purposes and more.
5:05 is the time. Do want to check in because some folks are waking up to some more showers.
That we are, yeah. We knew going into yesterday and today that those would be the 2 rainy days we had to work with. So 3 things to know. We always give them for you in the news at the top of the 5 o'clock half hour, and also in weather. What 3 things are most important for you leading into the weekend? Another morning with scattered showers. That's going to be there. It will die down toward the afternoon. We're going to track it. Just know that you're grabbing an umbrella once again this morning and trying to give yourself a little extra time. Not quite as warm as earlier in the week. We had 78 on Monday. Yesterday was in the low 70s. Today will be in the mid 60s. So closer to normal, which is right around 60 for this time of the year. More thunderstorms Friday and Saturday, another round that won't be severe. We put down 1 to 2 inches of rain just yesterday, so watch out for ponding and watch for potholes that might not look like potholes anymore. Might be full of them with some water. Here's a look at current Doppler radar. There really is almost a cutoff line here, I-65 north all the way down to the Alabama state line. Just a few light sprinkles west of there. We'll track this out of here and give you that planner into the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes in your Code Red forecast.
Greg, thanks. 5:06 right now, steer clear traffic. Things are looking good, even though we've got the rain, and you can see that in this live look from I-40 over at Donaldson Pike. This is the exit for the airport, the primary exit, and it's looks like a little brake check as you jump off here, but no big backups to report right now. Take it easy out there. Greg was just mentioning, you know, the rain has filled in some of those potholes, and it might be harder to see. We don't want you to end up with a flat and stranded on the interstate. So slow it down, keep your eyes on the road, and keep it here. We'll check back in and steer clear traffic in just a few minutes.
Right now, though, in Operation Crime and Justice, a Midtown bouncer facing criminal charges, very serious here, after police say he put a patrol, or patron I should say, in the hospital.
All right, so here's what we know so far. Police confirming to Fox 17 News that Richard Cornelius hit Austin Turner outside of the Tin Roof on Division Street back on February 10th. Police say that Turner fell and hit his head. Turner is in the hospital in extremely critical condition. He has life-threatening injuries. His family says the Hendersonville native was right outside of the bar waiting for an Uber. Police say the fight started when Turner tried to get back inside of Tin Roof. Cornelius, the bouncer, has been released on a $25,000 bond.
We also right now have continuing coverage when it comes to the search for Sebastian Rogers. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office says there are no new leads today. The 15-year-old autistic boy disappeared last Monday, and deputies now say they're scaling back search efforts.
Fox 17 News on top of this search from day one. We have been in the neighborhood with those search crews, and if you want to stay updated on our reporting, of course, you know, we'll keep you posted right here on the morning show, but you can also head to fox17.com or download the free Fox 17 News app to keep updated when you're on the go.
Well, coming up, a driver charged with hitting a mid-state teenager is in court this week. We're going to tell you what to expect in the trial's second day.
And so many folks worked up about a proposed power.
Red weather.
In Operation Crime and Justice now, heading into a second day of testimony when it comes to the St. Louis trial of the man accused of severely injuring a mid-state teenager in a car crash.
So this is the story of his trial, but also for Janae Edmondson, the local student. Prosecutors say 23-year-old Daniel Riley sped through a downtown St. Louis intersection last February. 17-year-old Janae Edmondson, in town at the time for a volleyball tournament, ended up pinned between cars and lost both of her legs. Just yesterday, Janae's father testified about the moments after the crash. Daniel Riley charged with assault, armed criminal action, and driving without a license. He was supposed to be on house arrest. At the time, he should have never been in that car to begin with. And there were many other details about this case that infuriated folks. If you want to read more about it, we've got it posted now at fox17.com.
Today, those who could be impacted by a plan to put a gas plant in Cheatham County are going to have their chance to once again weigh in. This is a story we've been covering extensively here on Fox 17 News about the plans for TVA to use hundreds of acres for this project. Well, TVA is holding an open house today from noon until 7 at the Hampton Inn. Okay, that's over in Ashland City, and they're going to do the same times tomorrow, Thursday. Those living nearby, county leaders and leaders in several Cheatham County cities, they have gone on record saying they are against the gas plant. So if you want to read so much more about this story, go to fox17.com. We have our complete coverage right there for you.
512, quick look at your forecast here, right to Doppler radar, and let's get into it. Taking a look here, greens meaning light rainfall. Where's it at? Where's it going? Basically everywhere east of I-65 is seeing some decent rainfall. A little lighter and a little more broken up if you get west of 65. This is the end of this. The more this goes toward the east, the quicker we get dry. Our western counties likely don't see anything else here for the rest of today, but it's moving in almost a circular motion, so it's not moving that quickly away from us. We're still seeing some rain in the Nashville area. Hendersonville, you'll be up pretty soon to see a little bit of rain kicking in. Old Hickory, you're seeing rain as well. We'll keep our eyes out on the radar, and the heaviest rainfall tracking its way into the Cumberland Plateau and eventually out of here in the coming hours.
Greg, thank you. 5:12 is the time. Do want to check back in on your steer clear traffic update to hopefully save you some time if you're heading out the door. This is a live look, I-65 at the I-24 junction, and you can see for yourself. No crashes to let you know of, no brake checks. This area looking very, very good. Hopefully it stays that way for a little bit. We'll continue sharing your steer clear traffic updates, though, throughout 9 o'clock.
An election shakeup as one senator says she's not going to run again. What her decision could mean for the nationwide contest and the balance of power.
And there is a new bill that is aiming to stop unqualified.
I'm a congressman.
Politicians.
South Dakota. Freedom works here.
Alarming firefighter shortage.
Thursday on Fox 17 News at 9.
Breaking news when it comes to politics. Nikki Haley plans to go ahead and suspend her presidential primary bid. That is expected to come out later this morning during a speech. The Wall Street Journal making this announcement just a couple of minutes ago, citing people familiar with Nikki Haley's plans. The former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador is going to make an appearance to deliver brief remarks over in Charleston, South Carolina at about 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 a.m. this morning. Okay, here in Middle Tennessee. We'll continue to follow this breaking news update and share more details as we get more updates.
Erica, thank you. Independent Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona has announced that she will not run for a second term. Kyrsten Sinema citing growing partisanship, in other words, a greater divide in political parties as the reason for her departure. Let's listen in.
I believe in my approach, but it's not what America wants right now. I love Arizona, and I am so proud of what we've delivered. Because I choose civility, understanding, listening, working together to get stuff done, I will leave the Senate at the end of this year.
All right, so Kyrsten Sinema, you should know this, was a Democratic senator for Arizona most of her political career, but she left the Democratic Party to become an independent in 2022. Her decision not to seek re-election means Arizona avoids a potentially messy three-way contest for her seat. There's a Democrat named Ruben Gallego and a Republican named Carrie Lake. Carrie Lake is a former news anchor out in Arizona who is looking to replace her. So that is something we'll be following closely.
We're also talking about our continuing coverage regarding the Texas wildfire. Crews are still working to control several record-breaking wildfires that are burning over in the Panhandle, and the video is just heartbreaking. The largest fire is the Smokehouse Creek fire, and it is still about 37% contained. It burned well over 1 million acres and destroyed 500 buildings, making it the largest in their state history. Crews say the fires killed at least 2 civilians as well as a fire chief, and crews there are warning that the fire weather is going to return later this week.
The fire's not over yet. Even though progress has been made, it is wrong if anybody thinks the fire is over and they can let down their guard.
Yeah, and that's an important thing to point out. Containment does not mean the fire is out. Containment means they have built a line around the fire to keep it in that area. Texas Governor Greg Abbott saying that 70% of Hemphill County, home to the city of Canadian, has been burned. Nearly 50 families no longer have a home. Covering the Capitol now, a bill aimed at better regulating parking and towing companies here in Tennessee.
State Senator Jack Johnson's bill would make it illegal for anyone to put a boot on your car unless the local government licenses and regulates them. Big update. And if your car gets booted, a parking attendant has to be available to remove it within 30 minutes of getting your call.
It might be surprising to some, but I've received calls from constituents that literally there are individuals out there that will go out somewhere and buy one of these booting devices and show up in parking lots and start putting boots on people's cars and then waiting for them to come out of the restaurant and then telling them they have to pay $200 or something in order to get that boot removed.
What a scam. Oh my God, could you imagine?
Yes, because it's happened to me.
A scammer did that to you?
We've had stories, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Not in Middle Tennessee.
Okay.
It was a different state.
Wow, man, people will go to great lengths. Hey, this bill would cap the booting fee at $75. Now on the towing front, if a tow truck has your vehicle but hasn't left the lot, they have to put it down if you agree to pay the release fee. And this bill would make that release fee no more than $100. I saw a tow truck the other day. It passed me in traffic, and you know they have to put on their trucks what their release fee is, or they call it a drop fee.
Right, so that they can't scam you.
Yeah,
yes.
So like on that, we're going to send it to Greg, but on that truck I saw a drop fee $200.
Nothing will make you run faster when you see a tow truck.
Right? Oh my gosh, I think we've all been there. Don't take my car. No.
Again, not in this state, but I have literally walked to my car in an area that was a no parking area, going to get in the car, and an officer said, "You can't get in your car until I write you your ticket." And I had to stand there and watch the ticket be written.
No.
That was a fun time. No. I'm like, here we are. Taking a look, you're getting outside. Make sure you're leaving a little bit early. We do have some wet pavement that is out there. We're going to talk about a forecast of some more rain throughout the morning. Visibility is not perfect here in South Nashville, so let's just take you straight to Future Track and just see what it's showing us here for the rest of this weather maker. 5 a.m., continuing to see some rain into 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. Everything begins to get a little bit lighter later in the day. 11 o'clock this morning, still a little greenish gray out there. Not going to be by any means a washout of a day. It really is more of a morning event. And in the afternoon, fairly cloudy. You may get a burst or two of some sun right before our sun sets, but that's pretty much it. Cooler day, no 70s today. We'll be in the upper 60s if we're lucky. Most of us stuck in the middle 60s for later on this afternoon. Now, what I want to do is take you forward in time to Friday. We just skipped all of Thursday. Forget about it. No rain tomorrow. Going into Friday, 1 p.m. So morning hours into the afternoon, rain begins to take over. And this will be a first half of the weekend event. This is overnight Friday into Saturday. And then Saturday morning into the afternoon, more scattered rain showers coming down. That's the next weather maker that we have to contend with. Keep that in mind. It will also cool us down. 65 degrees today, 70 tomorrow, 62 on Saturday, only 56 degrees. On our leap forward day, or not leap forward, but our spring forward day on Sunday, pushing the clocks up 1 hour.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's go to I-40 at 46th Avenue as you make that drive into town. This is the scene there from the west side. As you can see, traffic there moving along very nicely. I've been checking to and fro, and I'm just going to be honest. I have not seen a lot of crashes out there despite the wet conditions. That is subject to change any second now. We can get an accident, and then they can happen in clusters whenever the weather is like this and the road conditions are this wet. But right now we're doing fine coming in from the west side. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you, let you know when the situations do change.
Justin, thank you. Let's talk about weather again, though. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, is now sharing the numbers on the Tennessee households that got financial assistance after the deadly December tornadoes. FEMA says that total is 1,964 households, okay? And the total money spent, $4 million. More aid came, I should say, from the U.S. Small Business Administration. That was roughly $2.8 million in low-interest loans.
We have state lawmakers banning dogs at the table in restaurants. Lawmakers say too many people are using the label.
All right, everyone, 525. Before I get started with this story, I just want to say I'm a dog lover. I like dogs. I really do. But there's a question out there that a lot of people are asking themselves, should your dog or your neighbor's dog be allowed at the table in your favorite restaurant, not in your kitchen, at a restaurant where everyone is eating? Well, some Tennessee lawmakers say no. They say too many dogs are showing up in places where maybe some people may not be comfortable seeing them. And they are having the term service animal printed on the dog on some way, shape, or form, or claiming that they are service animals. Now, some people do need service animals. There's no question about it. However, some lawmakers say there are too many people taking advantage, and as a result, dogs are showing up in some unusual places.
Somebody that's carrying a dog in their arms comes into a restaurant, puts that dog in a chair, and is eating at the table. That, by definition, is not a service animal. The definition clearly lays that the dog must remain on the floor and walk with its own effort. It cannot be carried.
And this actually did originate in my district from some restaurants that had reached out that were having that exact issue that you were outlining, where animals were coming in and getting on the table and eating from the plates.
Dogs eating from the plates. This did pass the Tennessee House without any issue. It will move on to the Senate, and the governor will need to sign off. By the way, if it does pass, there's no penalties for this right now. They say they're going to work on penalties possibly next year, but it does just give law enforcement the opportunity to enforce something if someone is uncomfortable with a dog eating from the plate next door at your favorite restaurant. Things could get interesting.
Our time right now, 5:27. Justin took everything inside of you not to put dog at the day right after that. What an interesting story. Taking a look here, and I mean, I agree. Even if you do love your dog, there are certain things you should, kind of find a boundary line. Taking a look. Oh, speaking of boundary line, funnel round you're moving in right now. That's giving us a couple of showers that are out there. That's going to continue to be the case here for this morning. Now, if you are in areas like Clarksville, Hopkinsville, Dickson, all of our western counties where there's no rain right now, you are in the all clear for rain for the entire day. This is pulling away to the east and then going to move to the north and the east throughout the morning and early afternoon. That means that the more east you are, say if you're in Cookeville, Crossville, Monterey, McMinnville, you're going to see the rain last longer. Nashville's kind of along that cutting line, where in the next 2-3 hours the rain pulls away and continues its journey on toward the east. We will track it for you and look ahead to a bigger cool down for the upcoming weekend as we go into our 5:30 half hour. Justin?
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to I-24 at Bell Road, making that drive in from the Antioch area. Look at all the vapor kicking up from that ride in this morning. It is really, really heavy out there right now, and will continue to be so. Have not seen a lot of crashes so far this morning, but that could change within a moment's notice. We'll continue to watch things and get you fresh drive times. That's all coming up here in the next few minutes.
We have new details on the plane crash that happened along I-40 East. Coming up in a few minutes, I'll tell you what NTSB investigators have to say.
Plus, some residents of some Nashville neighborhoods are very worried about a new zoning rule that would ever.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning. 5:31 is the time. Right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, investigators are piecing together the timeline of the plane crash that killed 5 people Monday night. We have the last recordings from the pilot and more updates.
Waking up this morning to rain lingering in the Nashville area. The more east you go, the more consistent and slightly heavier it is. How long this is going to last throughout your Wednesday coming up in your Code Red forecast.
Lots of water on the road at I-24 at Bell Road. We've got the very latest on your drive coming up in a few.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell.
The aircraft tumbled, came to rest on the hill behind me, and burst into flames.
Continuing coverage this morning of that small plane that crashed along I-40 Monday night. We have learned so many new details since we brought you this story yesterday morning. We are hearing the final moments that led up to that crash, and we do want to warn you, some of the sound from this exchange could be difficult to hear.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is joining us live near the site of that crash with the very latest update. Karen, what can you share with us this Wednesday morning?
Good morning. NTSB investigators say the plane departed from Canada, made a couple of stops on their way to John C. 2 Airport before crashing near Costco here to my right past these trees. It's too dark to show you exactly where the wreckage is, but you can see the wreckage on your screen. The small plane was in pieces and destroyed almost entirely after it was engulfed in flames. We're going to share with you the heartbreaking audio of the pilot to air traffic control moments before the crash. We warn you, this might be disturbing to hear. Take a listen.
Are you trying to land at Johnson?
My engine turned off. I'm at 1,600. I'm going to be landing. I don't know where.
During a press conference yesterday, Aaron McCarter, the air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, says the 5 Canadians on board, including two adults and 3 children. They are working with the Canadian Embassy to identify them as they continue their investigation.
The wreckage has just been transported to a facility up in Springfield, Tennessee, where we can do an investigation.
NTSB investigators say the preliminary report will be released in 10 days. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. You see the umbrella out there. Greg, how long are these showers going to be continuing?
It truly does depend upon where you are at. If you're in our western counties, you're basically already in the clear. Nashville, a few more hours from now, and this will be out of here. You can see this is a 2-hour continuing loop of the rain. It's just not really moving and going anywhere. So all we can do is find the little dry pockets this morning and attempt to get out when we have those little dry areas. But here is Nashville. Nothing has really let up in the last 2 hours. Now, this is going to continue to slowly chug along as far as the dry portion behind all of this rain, but it really is going to take a little while. It's nothing we can put too much of a track on. I can tell you, though, I-40 into Nashville and I-24 all the way from the Alabama state line up toward Nashville, seeing rainfall coming down right now. The 65 corridors in from the north and south, pockets of rain still out there on the radar. This won't be out of here for all of us until the afternoon, but if you're in Lafayette, rain is picking up right now, and then the rain starting to make its way into portions of southern Kentucky. Tompkinsville, you'll get some more steadier rainfall if track holds true in about the next half hour to 45 minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to I-24 at Baker Road. This is down in the Rutherford County area, where traffic is moving out there pretty well. No big problems out there in Rutherford County down towards Murfreesboro. We're doing okay, even though this is where the rain is starting to push out. And we can see that water vapor out there on the road kicking up back behind you, giving the effect that it's really raining harder than what it really is. Not seeing the big accidents, though. This is the same can be said here for this area of town. This is 65 near Vietnam Vets on the north side this morning. Also doing well as far as your traffic is concerned. Drive times are on the green so far, but things can change.
Well, all right, Justin, thank you very much. 5:35 is the time. Operation Crime and Justice right now. Detectives are investigating a shooting that left a teenager dead Monday night.
Police say 16-year-old Henry C. Taylor was found lying in a North Nashville street with a gunshot wound to the chest. So we're mapping it out for you where this happened. Taylor later dying at the hospital. Police say shots were likely fired between different people in the 500 block of Lamont Drive. If you know anything about this deadly shooting, police are asking that you go ahead and call Crime Stoppers to help with this case.
A wild night at Bridgestone Arena for the Preds, the highlights, and one unexpected shot from that matchup.
And hey, just want to take a moment to say thank you for waking up with us here every single morning on Fox 17 News, your own.
Imagine your future differently with Capella University.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Let's talk about some hockey. The Preds took on the Montreal Canadiens last night, but thanks to an unlucky shot and more, the team from Quebec, they snapped the Preds' winning streak, unfortunately. But let's show you some of the highlights. Canadiens were down 2-0 in the second when they got 1 point past Saros, okay? Then seconds later, an absolutely crazy bounce off the glass and into the goal. We're going to show you it and then show you again the replay here. The game going into overtime, tied at 3, but 17 seconds in, the Canadiens put the puck in the net. And there you have it. Goodbye to the Preds' winning streak. So right now we are taking a closer look at, the breakdown when we talk about the Stanley Cup, Western Conference wild card standings. You can see it here on your screen. The Golden Knights and Predators 73-73, Blues 67, Kraken 67. So everything is neck and neck. Why is this important? Because the Predators are fighting for the last 2 playoff spots. Okay, so we here on the Fox 17 News Morning Team are keeping a very close eye on all things hockey.
Time right now is 5:40, taking a look at all things weather right now, keeping a close eye to the radar as showers are out there. Rain coming down in the Nashville area still. It's getting a little bit lighter hour by hour, but it is still fairly consistent in terms of coverage area across much of Middle Tennessee. 57 degrees, your temperature downtown. Most of our temperatures right side of your screen are in the 50s as well. Showers, name of the game, hitting the road for you. Taking a look, I'm going to go with the yellow light as far as weather's influence on your drive this morning. We do have some ponding in some areas. We have wet roads, and we have the showers that are continuing to be fairly consistent, especially east and south of town, so keep that in mind. Looking ahead, well, Future Track shows us that this is going to be a morning and afternoon event. And what I mean by afternoon is the more east we go, the longer the rain lasts. By 11 o'clock, we're down to just a sprinkle at best across the heart of Middle Tennessee, including Nashville. Afternoon dries out. By the time we get to sunset, we're done with everything, maybe even a burst or two of sun. The last folks to see some raindrops today are going to be out in the Cumberland Plateau.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening. 65 at the Fern Avenue overpass. This is on the north side of town. As you can see, traffic in that area moving pretty well, despite the fact the rain is falling. Have not seen a lot of accidents this morning. That is subject to change almost at any point. But checking the drive times, these are fresh out of the oven. I can't even touch the pan. 27 minutes coming out of Hendersonville, 51 out of Murfreesboro, 25 out of Mount Juliet. Things will change. All of these numbers will increase. We'll continue to watch the roads.
5:41 right now. Making housing in Nashville more affordable. A common goal with different approaches. Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning, why a potential zoning change is causing heated debate among a lot of neighbors. And
Friday through Sunday, shop one of the year's biggest furniture sales. Get 30% off your entire purchase or get 0% interest for 5 years with 0 down. Shop the Orange event at your local Ashley.
5:44 is the time, and if you're just now waking up with us this Wednesday morning on Fox 17 News, we do want to let you know that we're learning more about Nikki Haley's plans to go ahead and suspend her presidential primary bid. Now, sources familiar with her plans say she is going to make the announcement later this morning. We are continuing to get more updates about this. The Republican primaries yesterday, Haley won just 43 of the Republican delegates, while Trump won 764. We are told that Haley will make an appearance to go ahead and deliver brief remarks in Charleston at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So that would be 9 Central time this morning for all of us here. We're going to continue bringing you some more updates regarding any of this breaking news story in the politics area on Fox 17 News this morning.
And at 5:45 right now, let's bring it back here closer to home, right here in our communities. We have a potential zoning change causing a big stir among a lot of folks in Nashville. Under this plan, and it's a plan right now, builders would be allowed to tear down a single-family home and put in condos in its place, even if it was just 2 or 3 or 4. Well, some Metro Council members like Jacob Coupin are introducing legislation now for multifamily and 2-family use housing to try to create a wider type of homes that are available within neighborhoods. He says this is going to address the problem of a lack of affordability.
This is not going to solve affordable housing completely across the board, but it does give a tool to allow for slightly smaller units with increased density.
I don't think it would have much of an impact. The way that it's proposed, it doesn't do anything, or there's no evidence to show that it will address affordable housing. What it will do is create more housing, but as we've seen in other areas across town, more housing doesn't mean lower cost housing.
So both Jennifer Gamble, who you heard from there, and Jacob Coupin feel like more conversations need to be had for this rezoning proposal. And remember, this is just a proposal at this point. We'll let you know how it moves forward.
Well, Metro Councilman Coupin says these bills have been deferred. They are still in first reading and will be discussed in their next meeting that is set for April 2nd. But Coupin says they may defer these bills really until next year.
And covering the Capitol right now, a bill that could result in tax refunds for thousands of Tennessee businesses. In simple terms here, this measure that lawmakers are considering would repeal a state property tax on businesses because court rulings suggest that tax is unconstitutional. Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch here to explain this morning.
Right now, every company in the state pays a franchise tax on its operations. The amount is tied to the company's net worth or the value of the property that they own in Tennessee, whichever is greater. The law has been on the books since 1937.
This legislation removes the property measure so that companies pay on net worth alone, which is consistent with the way this tax is generally administered in other states that have this tax.
Turns out only 15 other states do, and state leaders say it's been an issue when trying to recruit companies to come here. The governor wants to get rid of this because he's afraid some company or companies will sue, as they have in other states, and Tennessee will be on the hook for damages.
It would also require the department to establish a fund from which refunds could be made to any taxpayer that overpaid based off of the property tax measure of the franchise tax during the last 3 tax periods.
The state estimates the most the refunds could cost is about $1.6 billion. It's essentially a tax cut there for the asking. In case you were wondering, the state has never done anything like this before.
What's the need to give people who may not have a claim, may not have damages, a refund?
There's no reason to think those won't result in litigation imminently if this is not resolved.
The stakes are high as the property portion of this tax generates about $400 million a year for the state. Right now, the state can afford the refunds. In a few years, who knows?
That was Scott Couch reporting there, and Senate lawmakers discussing the bill really at length yesterday. They expect to go ahead and vote on it next week, so we're going to keep you updated as soon as we get some more updates. Again, that is set for next week.
It is 5:49 right now. Happy hump day to you. It's Wednesday. We're going to get through it together, albeit a little bit of a rainy slosh through your Wednesday.
Yeah. That's how today's going to be. Just the morning for Nashville, but if you're listening in areas out toward the plateau, you're going to be getting rain that could last as long as going into the afternoon hours. It's going to pull away from west to east throughout the day. That means dog walking could be some wet paws here So maybe Boomer's playing with,
Oh,
maybe Boomer's playing with the ball
good boy.
indoors today. Oh, and the two little girls right there, beautiful. Hadley and Emmy sent this in from Spring Hill.
They look like twins, the girls.
Yeah, take a look right there. Beautiful picture. So Boomer, go get your ball, but have them play with you indoors for a little bit. It's still raining for you. Taking a look, 57 degrees at 9 a.m., 63 at noon, 64 degrees at 3 o'clock this afternoon. This morning is going to stay in the 50s all the way up till we get to about lunchtime, so keep that in mind. Rain chances in the Nashville area themselves are going to be dropping throughout the morning. We dry out for the afternoon, which is good. But these first few hours of the day, yep, we're kind of stuck in it for right now. How do you send your dog of the day? You go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You find the pinned post right there, a little mail carrier. And that's how you get your photo, right here on Fox 17 News this morning. Your 7-day forecast. Now we're slipping away with temperature. We had 78 on Monday. Now we're 65 on Wednesday, 70 for tomorrow, 68 degrees for your Friday, and then low 60s on Saturday, 50s for Sunday. But that's still the day to get outside, though. The later sunset, first of all, and also the much drier of the 2 days in the forecast.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you to I-24 Briley Parkway. As you make that drive in from the Antioch area, you can see traffic there moving along pretty well. No big problems other than the water kicking up as people drive by. So heads up out there. Even though the rain may have stopped in certain areas, say you're driving along your neighborhood and you don't see any of that rain, by the time you get to the interstate and people are driving next to you, kicking up that water vapor, it could hit your windshield, and you need those wipers going there to make sure that you're good to go. But other than that, we are accident free, at least for now, but that is subject to change.
Justin, thank you. 5:51 is the time. Do want to let you know that nearly 2/3 of fourth graders in the U.S. struggle to read at grade level, which is why Fox 17 News is partnering with Reading is Fundamental and our parent company, Sinclair, for Sinclair Care supporting children's literacy. To help out, you can scan the QR code on your screen to donate to our virtual book drive. We also have more information over at fox17.com.
It is 5:51, and this morning we go to Kentucky, where a story making headlines there. It includes a bill that just passed the Senate in Kentucky overnight, granting the right to collect child support for unborn children. Now, under this measure, a parent would be able to seek child support for pregnancy expenses even up to 1 year after the mom gives birth.
The bill overwhelmingly gained bipartisan support and is now advancing to the House for a vote. This bill does come amid the recent ruling for the Alabama Supreme Court, where frozen embryos are considered legally protected children.
This morning, the push to ban TikTok and the latest efforts to try to disentangle China from the social media app.
And controversial amongst
morning. Track storms on your phone. Use interactive radar. The Fox 17 Code Red Weather app. Local weather from local experts. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red Weather app now.
Good morning. 5:55 is the time. Do right now. Want to take a live look at the Nashville skyline. Yeah, it's dreary outside. We're dealing with some showers depending on where you are. Greg's going to have your full forecast, even talking about what's happening this weekend and the rain chances that are ramping up too.
They are. Yeah, if you've got outdoor plans, I know some of you might have had your kids' outdoor sports events canceled yesterday and rescheduled for today. Hang tight, because
the good news is Thursday is looking better.
That might be something that gets pushed again to tomorrow, but we'll be sure to keep a track of that forecast for you all morning long through 9 so we can help you make those plans.
And listen, now that it's award season, your movie knowledge can help you win some extra money by playing Hollywood Trivia. It's our contest here at Fox 17. You make it rain, Jen.
Well, I mean, I wish I could, but I can't win. Hey, neither can any of us here, but that means you have a great chance to do it. Grab your cell phone right now. That smartphone will, if you open up your camera, it'll scan that QR code right there on your screen, and it'll give you the link to answer today's Hollywood Trivia question. You get it right, you get the chance to win that $100 daily prize. And then our daily prize winners are entered to win the $5,000 weekly grand prize. That's a good chunk of change. That'll get you groceries for like 1 week. I kid. But listen, the struggle is real, and we know it. So if you want to get on board right now real quick, you can answer today's trivia question. Good luck.
Okay, talking about money, one Kentucky man is debt-free for the first time in his life after a life-changing grocery store run last month. You were talking about groceries. Well, here you go. Charles Stoller decided to pick up a lottery ticket while he was checking out at a store over in Louisville. This was on the 9th of February.
Look at that. When he started to scratch off, it was a scratcher, a $5 scratcher. He saw a 50X symbol. I mean,
that's me dancing if that happens.
I know, that gives me goosebumps. So when he saw that 50X symbol, what that meant was the listed winning prize would get multiplied by 50. So at best, he's thinking like the rest of us would, okay, maybe he'd get his $5 back, like maybe he won like $1 on a $5 scratcher.
Yeah.
No. When he scratched off the whole ticket, it said $3,000. So $3,000 times 50. And there's the check for $150,000.
Wow. So after his tax deductions, $108,000 payouts. And that's what he says he's going to use to pay off his house.
I love that for him. Smart move, by the way.
So you're saying I should go ahead and buy a lottery ticket at the grocery store next time? Maybe.
We should do it. Listen, those Powerball and Mega Millions,
you never know.
are up to hundreds of millions of dollars now.
Well, talking about, the rest of us, consumer news right now, federal regulators taking a step towards trashing those junk fees.
I know this is something that we can all relate to. Just yesterday, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau finalized regulations that would cap most credit card late fee charges at $8. Have you ever looked at the late fees on credit cards? They are astounding.
Yeah. According to the agency, this is going to save U.S. families more than $10 billion per year for the more than 45 million people who are charged late fees every single year.
Right. I mean, those late fees really rack up. And by the way, this does work out to about $220 worth of annual savings for the average family that uses credit cards.
Not everyone, though, is on board with this. Some of the financial experts are blasting this change, including the chief policy officer at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, who says the new rule wrongly punishes people who pay their bills on time.
Interesting. All right. The chamber also said they're going to file a lawsuit against the Protection Bureau to try to keep this from happening.
All right, Greg, who do I go to ask for more sunshine and less rain? Just saying.
That's not me. Whoever's making the rules is not listening to me either. Otherwise, I'd be giving you a much better weekend than I am, unfortunately. Taking a look. Today, I'll give you a half and half day. We're at the beginning of the day. Right now, we're seeing some rain coming down, but by the afternoon, everything dies down. Your Thursday, perfect. A little bit cooler. Only going to be in the 50s to right around 60 degrees for your Thursday, so keep that in mind. This weekend, cool across the board. Showers going to be there for you, maybe even a thunderstorm or two early in the day on Saturday. The bulk of our rain going to come down late Friday into Friday night and then wrap up on Saturday, the first half of the day. Much cooler both of the days, though. Even cooler. Look at Sunday morning. I've dropped it into the upper 30s.
Still clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you down to I-65 near Wedgwood Avenue there. You can see traffic moving along there very nicely as we enter towards our 6 o'clock hour. No big deals, at least not to get started, but things will change, especially by the end of this very hour we're in right now, as Fox 17 News continues on with our 6 o'clock hour right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning, 6 o'clock on the dot. Right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, Super Tuesday's primary elections all wrapped up and votes are rolling in. We've got the latest nationwide and local results.
NTSB investigators uncover more details on the small plane crash that happened along I-40 East. Coming up, I'll have those details for you.
And rain coming down now. We'll take a look at what is on the radar when it moves out of here and slowly falling temperatures in your coded forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 near Broadley Parkway. We've got the latest on your drive there and other places coming up in a few.
All right, guys, thank you, and good morning to all of you. Thanks for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. We're going to get started with some breaking news when it comes to politics. Nikki Haley announcing plans to go ahead and suspend her presidential primary bid. She's going to make that announcement later this morning down in Charleston, South Carolina.
All right, the Wall Street Journal making the announcement just minutes ago, citing people who are close to her team. They say that the former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador will make an appearance to deliver very brief remarks, as Erica mentioned, in Charleston. That's going to happen at 9 o'clock our time this morning. Now, it is important to note, overnight, we had Super Tuesday results coming in. Nikki Haley did win Vermont, but that was the only win she was able to pull out here. Over the weekend, she won Washington, D.C., and she did say that she would continue her campaign through at least Super Tuesday.
Well, and to your point, Jen, we are now getting those election results that are continuing to come in this Wednesday morning across the country, and predicting that we could be seeing another showdown between President Biden and then former President Donald Trump.
Yeah, the likely setup here now in Tennessee as we take a look at the results. Former President Trump and Nikki Haley facing off here in the Republican primary with Mr. Trump taking a win. He had more than 77% of the vote here in Tennessee.
Yeah, so and for the Democratic Party, President Biden getting the expected win in Tennessee with nearly 8% of voters choosing uncommitted, which we thought was pretty interesting. Davidson County elections for assessor of property. We do have a winner, Vivian Wilhoit, going to stay in the job with 65% of the votes.
We have Tamisha Day, who was also up for that position. You can see here on your screen. She came in with a 34.8%. So, by the way, if you're curious about the assessor of property, this person determines how much your property or business is worth for tax purposes and a whole lot more.
If you can glide in there, sir, if you can glide in, they're clearing the runway for you.
Right now we have continuing coverage this morning of the small plane crash that crashed right along I-40. It happened Monday night, and we're talking so close to drivers who were passing by.
It was a scary situation for everybody involved. We have also learned new overnight that 3 children were on that plane. 3 children and 2 adults, all 5 of them died. This morning, we're hearing some of the final moments that led up to that crash, and we do just want to pause for a moment and give you a bit of a warning. This might be difficult for you to listen to.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live near the site of the crash. Karen, what have you been able to learn since about 4 o'clock this morning?
Well, the information we have came from a press conference yesterday, and we have been in communication with the FAA and the NTSB in regards to any further details. But at this moment, what we know from NTSB investigators is that what they uncovered at the scene is only a small part of the whole investigation, which will take 10 days or longer. But first, I want to show you exactly where the plane crashed. Investigators say that it departed from Canada, made a couple of stops on their way to John C. Toone Airport, and then the crash was right here behind me, past these trees. I want you to take a look at your screen to see the catastrophe. The plane burst into flames with 3 children and 2 adults inside, all Canadian citizens, according to the NTSB. Investigators say the pilot was reporting engine troubles. Take a listen to the heartbreaking audio of the pilot to air traffic control moments before the crash. We warn you, this might be disturbing to hear.
I'm declaring emergency. Do you have the airport in sight? Straight in runway 2. Straight in runway 2 at John Toone. Do you have the airport?
Yes, I have the runway in sight.
2, clear to land.
I'm too far away, I won't make it.
During a press conference yesterday, Aaron McCarter, the air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, says they took the plane to Springfield. Later today at 9 this morning, they plan to put the plane back together at the facility to determine what caused the engine failures. NTSB is asking for some help in gathering evidence. Take a listen.
Right now, the most important thing to do is preserve the non-perishable evidence, and the perishable evidence, including witness statements, doorbell cameras. Costco right here, they have a video that we were able to acquire that showed the actual impact.
Again, the NTSB is only in the preliminary stages of their investigation. The report will take up to 10 days. The NTSB is also working with the Canadian Embassy to identify those victims. At this time, we don't know if any of them were family members, considering there were children on board along with adults. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And Karen has the umbrella out there this morning, and that's the accessory for most of us. If you are I-65 on east, this rain continues to slowly chug its way to the east. If you are in Clarksville, Dickson, Centerville, Linden, even Lawrenceburg soon, your rain is wrapped up or is wrapping up. Nashville, still a couple tiny little sprinkles that are out there, but the rainfall rate has decreased significantly in the last 45 minutes. So Vanderbilt area, you go a little bit more down toward the south. Think areas like Berry Hill, even as far down south as Brentwood and Franklin, seeing a little bit of light rainfall coming down as well. The more steady rainfall continues to move out toward the east. Carthage, you're going to go from a good downpour, quick little sprinkle, another downpour, all within the course of about 20-25 minutes. Still a good couple hours before many of these areas to the east, and especially the areas that are still seeing these little yellow spots popping up with some more heavy rainfall. You may be seeing rain as late as 3 or 4 o'clock later on this afternoon. Keep that in mind. I have a new look at future track for you and your 7-day forecast with cooling temperatures for your weekend. That's coming your way in about 5 minutes.
Steer clear traffic this morning takes us to I-24 at Harding Place. We are picking up a couple of different crashes. We've got one here coming in from Antioch that is shutting down at least one lane on the outside. We've got the fire department there along with Metro Police dealing with that crash. Then we've got another one in downtown Nashville. TDOT just arrived to this one, 3-car pileup at 24 at Shelby. I told you these things can happen quickly and they can happen in bunches. So we've got 2 that have come upon us here over the last couple of minutes, slowing things down as you make your drive in. We're going to give you drive times and detours coming up in a few.
6:07 right now. State lawmakers banning dogs at the table in restaurants. Ooh, Justin McFarland.
Or get 0% interest for 5 years with 0 down. Shop the Orange event at your local Ashley.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection.
6:10 is the time. Okay, everyone. Should your dog be allowed at the table? Not in your kitchen, but in your favorite restaurant? That is what some Tennessee lawmakers are tackling, and a lot of them have said no, they don't belong there. They say too many dog owners are calling their favorite pet a service animal in order to bring them into places like restaurants, and in some cases, the pets are eating right off of the plates there in restaurants. Now, this law will try to stop a lot of that, but other locations could be included next year.
The question that I did have for you, does it clarify between a restaurant or a grocery store? For instance, if you're in a grocery store and a non-service animal is not trained to eat from the deli or in the produce aisle, the question is, would it apply to that to a grocery store or not?
Chairman Haston.
This bill does not, but I would be fine co-sponsoring a bill that would do that next year if we're both back.
Representative Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I look forward to working with you on that next year.
All right, so you just heard it. This year, it did pass. As far as restaurants are concerned, Tennessee lawmakers do say they recognize the need for service animals for those who need them and are willing to make exceptions. This did pass the House. It will go before the full Senate very soon.
6:11, looking at your forecast here. Maybe this is that time of the day where you're starting to get ready for the morning routine, and that might include the exercising. Well, temperatures are in the 50s, so no problems there, but we do have the rain that is coming down for many of us. Again, I-65 on east, that is all the way north to Kentucky and south to Alabama. This is going to continue throughout the morning and then slowly die down going into the afternoon. Taking a look at future tracks, 6 o'clock going into 7 and 8. By then, anything that pops up right along I-65 or in the Nashville area, a sprinkle. That would be it. Gloomy today, though, fairly cloudy. Temperatures going to be stuck in the middle 60s later on this afternoon. Tomorrow, though, going to be dry. Everything is done going into the overnight, and tomorrow you'll have a high temperature right around 70 with a mostly cloudy Thursday in store.
All right, steer clear traffic. A couple of accidents to tell you about this morning. Let's get you to the very latest on I-24 at Harding Place. As you make that drive in from the Antioch area, things are not well. They are slow, and this is part of the reason this crash here at 24 at Harding. You can see where emergency crews are on the scene there trying to take care of that and trying to reopen all the lanes. But the wet roads are certainly taking a toll. Let me show you very quickly of the drive time. 67 minutes in from Clarksville, but already a full hour and 15 minutes, hour and 16 minutes coming in from Murfreesboro. You want to take Murfreesboro Road or leave sooner in order to steer clear. A bouncer at a Midtown honky tonk is now facing charges. We're going to have the status after a patron is critically hurt. Plus a live look over a very wet Metro Center this morning. If the Titans were practicing, they would need to be in the bubble today.
More than just an investor, you're an owner, setting up the future for the ones you love. That's the value of ownership.
You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville.
In Operation Crime and Justice this Wednesday morning, there is a Midtown bouncer facing criminal charges after police say he put a patron in the hospital.
Now, police confirming that the bouncer is Richard Cornelius, who you see on the right side of your screen, and then Austin Turner was the patron, the person outside of the tin roof on Division Street when this all happened. Police say that Turner fell and hit his head after Cornelius attacked him. Turner is currently in the hospital. He's fighting for his life. His family tells Fox 17 News that the guy who's from Hendersonville was just outside of the bar waiting on an Uber. Police say the fight with the bouncer started when Turner tried to go back inside Tin Roof while he was waiting on that Uber ride. By the way, this is a story we're going to be following coming up in our 7 and 8 o'clock hours, much more in depth.
Well, today, those who could be impacted by a plan to put a gas plant over in Cheatham County, they're going to have their chance to go ahead and weigh in. It's a story we have covered extensively right here on Fox 17 News, talking about TVA's plans to use hundreds of acres for this project, not even counting the transmission lines. It's big. TVA sending out notices to folks in Robertson and Cheatham County whose property, though, could be impacted in part of this project.
All right, so TVA having an open house today from noon until 7. All right, you got all day pretty much to go to the Hampton Inn in Ashland City, and then they'll have it at the same times tomorrow, noon to 7 p.m. tomorrow. If you live nearby, county leaders and leaders in several Cheatham County cities have gone on the record as saying they are against this gas pipeline.
Just about 6:17. If you're just now waking up with us, take an umbrella. We're dealing with some showers. I'm just not so happy. I know, Jen, you always say your dad says he's solar powered.
Yes.
Well, that's certainly the case for me.
Kind of like Superman. Need to have the solar energy to keep yourself going.
Yes.
Well, we'll get some sun, little bursts of it, maybe if you're lucky late in the day. Right now, though, we are overcast. We're a little bit gloomy. We have the misty rain coming down in the Nashville area. We have the more steady showers off toward the east and especially in the Cumberland Plateau. Another morning with scattered rain showers. But if you're waking up in Dickson or Clarksville, you're looking out the window, you're getting that morning stretch, you go, I don't see anything. You don't. You're lucky right now. It really is Nashville on east, all the way from state line to state line, where we're seeing some showers that are coming down. Not quite as warm as earlier in the week. We had upper 70s Monday, lower 70s yesterday, and now we're talking about middle 60s today. More thunderstorms in the forecast for Friday and Saturday. No severe weather, but definitely going to be another weather maker that moves in. Here is the radar picture. You almost can draw a line right down 65. Go west, you look pretty good. The more to the east you go, the darker the greens get, and the more substantial the rain is. Now, we've already seen 1 to 2 inches of rain in some spots, so keep that in mind. Even though it's light, we already have standing rain, ponding, and wet roads across much of Middle Tennessee here to start off the day. 7-day forecast. If you think today's cool and a little bit gloomy, wait until you get into Saturday. Yes, most of Saturday morning into early afternoon, we do have some showers and a few storms. The most likely time frame to work through thunderstorms will be overnight. Friday night into Saturday. Cold front slides through. Look at the morning temperature. That'll be a little unsettling here for a couple of mornings in a row in the 30s. Waking up on Sunday morning and on Monday morning to much colder temperatures. So might even want to grab the winter coat both of those mornings to start the day and a little more comfortable for the afternoons. The coolest day in the forecast is going to be Sunday, and that is also the day where we start our longer daylight when it comes to the end of the day and a sunset after 7 p.m.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's take a quick look here at I-24 at Shelby Avenue in downtown Nashville. That's where we are dealing with the crash there on the shoulder of the road. It's one of at least 2 crashes we're following right now, and it's causing the drive times to pile up here no matter where you're coming from. So that's the scene downtown. Let me show you another. This is 24 at Harding. Same deal where you got crews there working on the shoulder, blocking off 1 lane. Let me give you the latest drive times because some of them can be eye-popping here. 73 minutes coming in from Clarksville right now, so heads up on that. 76 minutes coming in from Murfreesboro, 28 minutes, not too bad coming in from Mount Juliet, but that time from Murfreesboro right now, if you left Murfreesboro right now coming into Nashville, you wouldn't arrive till around 7:30.
Well, new this morning here on Fox 17 News, want to let you know that a bill that would remove the disposal of embryos resulting from fertility treatments from Tennessee's definition of abortion, that has failed to pass.
All right, so we're talking about, in case you haven't been following this, House Bill 2227 voted down in the Population Health Subcommittee overnight. That decision comes after an Alabama Supreme Court ruling just last month that frozen embryos resulting from IVF, or in vitro fertilization treatments, could be called a child.
But IVF work could resume in Alabama as early as tomorrow or Friday. State lawmakers have key votes set for today. We're going to get a report right now from Kylie.
Don't cry. Legislation that would restart in vitro fertilization in Alabama could become law by tonight or tomorrow. The State House and Senate are poised for votes today. They're in response to a state Supreme Court ruling last month calling a frozen embryo a child. Lawmakers say they want to create a shield from legal liability.
Patients need to have the same protection as the doctors and the providers, and that's what we're trying to do.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey says she expects passage and will sign the legislation. In the meantime, clinics say they're on hold because they fear civil and criminal penalties.
It's so incredibly unfortunate because it really leaves these patients in a very bad spot.
At least 2 clinics say they're eager to resume treatments, and some families already have their frozen embryos.
As it stands, we don't have a choice on if we want to use that or not. We're kind of locked out of that decision right now.
The reality is, without doing another embryo transfer, without doing IVF, without having access to it, like, my journey ends.
Some critics say the legislation should go further. They want to address the court's declaration that an embryo is a child.
Can I take this embryo off income tax? Can I apply for school choice?
I'm Amy Kylie reporting.
That was Amy Kylie sharing that update there. Alabama lets governors sign bills electronically, and that could expedite this particular measure.
It's 6:21 right now. A driver charged with hitting a mid-state teenager going to have to show up in court this week. It's the story of Janae Edmondson, her incredible road to recovery, but also what's next for this man, the man who was facing charges for hitting her.
And at 6:22, taking a live look over on Lower Broadway, it's wet out there, so take your umbrella. We're your own.
Get the money you deserve. Get Hughes and Coleman and get it done. Call 800-800-4600.
Alarming firefighter shortage.
Thursday on Fox 17 News at 9.
6:24 is the time. We have some breaking news this morning. We are continuing to get some more updates about Nikki Haley and her plans to go ahead and suspend her presidential primary bid. This does leave Donald Trump as the last remaining major candidate for the 2024 Republican nomination. And sources familiar with Nikki Haley plans say that she is going to make the announcement later this morning. Across the Republican primaries yesterday, Haley won just 43 of the Republican delegates, while Trump won 764. We're told that Haley is going to make an appearance to deliver brief remarks in Charleston this morning. We're going to continue bringing you the very latest updates regarding this breaking news story.
Erica, thank you very much. 6:25, we have Greg working on a few weather headlines behind the scenes for you. So I just wanted to take a moment to tell you about your bust up forecast. It's going to be a rainy start to the day. By 7 o'clock, though, at least the temperatures are mild. It's not a super cold rain. 56 by 7, 56 going to hold steady around 8 o'clock. And then by the time the kids are in school at 9 o'clock this morning, warming up to just 57 degrees. We'll monitor those off and on showers through the course of the morning. We'll let you know when they're going to pop up next and then how the rest of your work week is looking in about 5 minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there this morning. We've got good news and bad news. Okay, so the good news is one accident has already cleared. I guess since I just told you that, I should go ahead and show you. I should show you the good news. How about, okay. 24 at Shelby. The accident is out of the way there. There was a 3-car pileup here a short time ago. Crews have come and cleared that. Now here we are at 24 at Harding Place, where we're still dealing with a 3-car pileup there of our own coming in from the Antioch area. So heads up there. The drive time still well over an hour coming in from Murfreesboro. Keep in mind, school zones are back in session, so you want to use Murfreesboro Road if you want to try and steer clear, or better yet, just leave early. Give yourself plenty of time.
Operation Crime and Justice this morning, heading into day 2 now of testimony in the trial involving a St. Louis man who was charged with hitting a mid-state teenager, causing her to lose both of her legs.
Now, prosecutors say 21-year-old Daniel Riley was speeding through a downtown St. Louis intersection last February when that accident happened. 17-year-old Janae Edmondson, a volleyball player who was headed to college very soon, lost both of her legs after she was pinned between 2 cars in that particular crash. Yesterday, Edmondson's father testified about the moments after the crash. Riley, in the meantime, has been charged with assault as well as armed criminal action and driving without a license. Believe it or not, he was supposed to be on house arrest when this particular crash happened.
Should have never been in that car, and there were so many other things to come out of this, right? For example, the DA there in St. Louis.
Forced to resign
because she was accused of not doing enough to keep people like him off the street. So we'll be following that story closely as we now get into day 2.
Well, neighbors in some Nashville neighborhoods are very concerned about a brand new zoning rule at 9.
You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Wednesday morning, investigators piecing together the timeline of a plane crash that killed 5 people Monday night, including children. We have the last recordings of the pilot.
Right now, we have a live look into downtown Nashville. Yes, it is a rainy, kind of foggy, just a messy start to your Wednesday morning, but skies are going to clear out. We'll let you know when. And in the meantime, we'll track the rain for you so you can make your outdoor plans here for your Wednesday.
And we also just want to start by thanking you for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News. 6:30 is the time. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. I know you guys have plans with the kiddos, probably sporting events and whatnot, so we'll get to that forecast here in just a moment. But first, new this half hour, Fox 17 News working to learn the name of a man who was hit by a car in Springfield overnight. A pedestrian who we have learned has died.
That is according to Smoky Barn News, so where we are getting updates there. They say the man was riding a mobility scooter down Tom Austin Highway, that is right near the Aldi there, when he was hit by a car that was passing by. We're also told he was pronounced dead at the scene. Right now, though, there is no word on whether the driver involved is going to be charged.
Wow, that is a huge scene there on 431 Tom Austin Highway, as Erica mentioned, right there in the heart of Springfield. Right now, we have detectives investigating the shooting death of a teenager in the Nashville area Monday night.
Police say 16-year-old Henry C. Taylor was found lying in a North Nashville street with gunshot wound to the chest. We're mapping it out for you right here, and we do understand Taylor later died at the hospital. Police say the shots were likely fired between different people right here in the 500 block of Lamont Drive. Police are saying if you know anything about this deadly shooting that could help to solve this case, you were asked to call Crime Stoppers.
And looking at your forecast here at 6:32, and I'll tell you right now, a big smiley face for everyone who is in Nashville because you are almost done with the rain. The raindrops have come to almost a complete halt. There'll be a sprinkle or two for the rest of this morning, but the steady, consistent rainfall is now moving toward the east. So we're making some good progress here. If you go south of Nashville, though, down I-65, there are a few more little sprinkles that are still lingering. The consistent, steadier rainfall picking it up as the heavier bands of some green here you see right to the east of the Murfreesboro area. Just track through for you guys, going toward Woodbury and then eventually getting toward Smithville and McMinnville. This band of rain going to make it there in about 20-25 minutes. And you're probably saying, Greg, it's already raining. I mean, this band of rain is going to move in. You have light rain right now. This rain does get a little bit heavier in scope. So maybe you're running in and out of the house real quick. I would do it now before this picks up for a little bit. You have a good 15-minute downpour coming your way. If you take a look, though, most of our rainfall is in the green category. Yellows and oranges end up meaning the heavier rain. So we are in that just steady, consistent doldrum of rain here where we do have some fog and we do have some visibility problems. Be careful getting out there, ponding on the roads. Wouldn't be shocked if we're seeing it in some spots here this morning.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you to the very latest happening out here on I-24 at Harding Place. As you can see, there is a traffic accident there on the shoulder of the road causing a slight slowdown. This seems to be going outbound, so that's the good news in this case. The inbound traffic is affected a little bit as people slow down just to look maybe at the flashing lights, but overall, this is still leading to slowdowns out there as we're still around 76 minutes right now coming in from Murfreesboro to downtown. We are looking at other areas, and that includes here on the north side. There we go. Vietnam Veterans Boulevard here at the Gallatin Road area coming in from Sumner County. Things starting to slow down as more people get on the roads. We'll have the latest drive times coming up in just a few.
The aircraft tumbled, came to rest on the hill behind me, and burst into flames.
What you just heard there was a sound from investigators on the scene as a pilot was trying to make an emergency landing in Nashville Monday night. Investigators working to piece together what led up to that. What we know is that the pilot would come to a crashing stop on I-40. All 5 people on the plane would not survive.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live from right near the crash site with some more updates regarding what happened. So Karen, what can you share with us now?
Good morning. Well, I contacted local authorities like the Metro Police and the Metro Fire Department to see if they had any luck in identifying the victims, 3 children and 2 adults. So far, they haven't gotten back to us. But what we do know is that the NTSB is leading this investigation, and they're working with the Canadian Embassy to find out who those victims were. We know that NTSB was on scene here at the site of the plane crash, which is right next to I-40 East, and you can see that there are some gloves here on the ground, potentially from investigators, and also behind me there are tire marks from that small plane. Now I want you to take a look at your screen to see what that fiery crash looked like. Officials say it happened around 7:40 Monday night. During a press conference yesterday, NTSB investigators determined the plane departed from Canada, made a couple of stops on the way to John C. Toon Airport before crashing. Pilot reported engine failure. Take a listen to the heartbreaking audio of the pilot to air traffic control moments before the crash. We warn you, this might be disturbing to hear.
I'm declaring emergency. You have the airport in sight. Straight in runway 2. Straight in runway 2 at John Toon. Do you have the airport?
Yes, I have the runway in sight.
2, clear to land.
I'm too far away. I won't make it.
The plane was taken to Springfield, Tennessee, and around 9 this morning, investigators will put the plane back together to determine what caused the engine failures. And one of the questions that remain unanswered is, what were the qualifications of the pilot? Well, I reached out to the NTSB, who again is leading this investigation, and we are waiting to hear back. When we have that information, we will bring it to you. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Coming up, we have more complaints of outrageous towing and parking fees from Tennesseans. We're going to tell you what one lawmaker is proposing as a possible solution.
Still to come on Fox 17 News this morning in our 7 o'clock hour, where we are going to speak with a local farmer. Not just any farmer, though. This is a local farmer who has made his debut.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Destin Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
It is just about 6:40. We do have some breaking news. Okay, we're learning more about Nikki Haley's plans to suspend her presidential primary bid, leaving Donald Trump as the last remaining major candidate for the 2024 Republican nomination. Now, sources that are familiar with Nikki Haley's plans say yes, she's going to make the announcement later this morning. Now, who is she going to back then? That's up in the air. Haley not planning to endorse Trump. That's according to some of those who know her plans and about this announcement. Instead, she's expected to encourage him to earn the support of the coalition of moderate Republicans and independent voters who supported her. Haley going to make an appearance to deliver brief remarks in South Carolina, in Charleston, in fact, around 9 o'clock this morning. So more updates to come.
Well, covering the Capitol this morning, a state lawmaker has introduced a bill that would better regulate parking and towing companies, especially the boot companies across the state of Tennessee.
All right, so we have a state senator named Jack Johnson right now who is leading the charge for this change. His bill, again, this is a bill, it's a proposal, would make it illegal for any company to put a boot on your car unless the local government licenses and regulates that particular company.
Now, they already have a rule like this for Nashville, but this would go throughout the entire state. Okay, so the rule also says if your car does get a boot on it and a parking attendant has to be there and available to remove it within 30 minutes of making a phone call.
It might be surprising to some, but I've received calls from constituents that literally there are individuals out there that will go out somewhere and buy one of these booting devices and show up at parking lots and start putting boots on people's cars and then waiting for them to come out of the restaurant and then telling them they have to pay $200 or something in order to get that boot removed.
This bill would cap the booting fee at $75. Now, on the towing front, if a tow truck has your car but hasn't left the lot, so they've already put it up on the back, they would have to put it down if you agreed to pay a release fee that would not exceed $100. In a lot of cases, that so-called drop fee, and sometimes you'll see this advertised on the side of a tow truck. It'll say drop fee, you know, fill in the blank. I saw one the other day that said $200.
Yeah, just to drop your car back to the ground.
So a proposal, as it stands right now, will let you know whether this gains any traction.
641, looking at your cold wet forecast. We are gaining some traction when it comes to physical traction on the ground here in the Nashville area. Rain has let up for at least the time being. A sprinkle or two later on this morning can't be ruled out, but the rain is moving and exiting out of the metro as we speak. 57 degrees right now. That's the current temperature, but showers to the east of Nashville continue. Keep that in mind. We do have some areas of some standing water. Watch for filled-in potholes. They're everywhere to begin with, and when you can't see them on top of that, not a good combination. Light rainfall, standing water in spots. That's the name of the game this morning. Rain does end a little bit later, so future track for you, taking this out of the area, going in toward the afternoon. Now, I'll tell you, listen up, friends in the plateau right now. Cookeville, Crossville, Monterey, McMinnville. You're going to see this rain linger into early afternoon. Unfortunately, it's not going to end as quickly as it has in the Nashville area. So, Nashville, we're almost done. By lunchtime, you may even see a little burst of some sunshine.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic. We just picked up a new crash. This one's happening on I-24 at the I-65 junction as you make that drive down from the north and west side of town from Jolton and Whites Creek. They had the interstate completely shut down a short time ago. Thankfully, they've just reopened all lanes here, so you're looking much better than you were. That is for sure. We will continue to watch as you can see the fire department's on the scene. This crash does involve an 18-wheeler. You can see that on the shoulder of the road. Best way to steer clear, Whites Creek Pike or Clarksville Pike as you make that drive down.
6:43 is the time right now, making housing in Nashville more affordable. A common goal for a lot of folks, but different approaches as to how to do it. Why a potential zoning change is causing heated debate among neighbors.
What a way to open up season 11!
You're watching Fox 17 WZTV Nashville.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It is 6:45 right now, and in our community, we have a potential zoning change that's causing a stir among folks in Nashville. Now, under this plan, builders would be allowed to tear down a single-family home and put in condos, whether that would be 2, 3, 4. Some Metro Council members, like Jacob Coupin, are introducing this legislation for multifamily or two-family use housing. He says to create a wider variety of options within our neighborhoods, and he says this would address the problem of a lack of affordability. Let's listen to both sides.
This is not going to solve affordable housing completely across the board, but it does give a tool to allow for slightly smaller units with increased density.
I don't think it would have much of an impact. The way that it's proposed, it doesn't do anything, or there's no evidence to show that it will address affordable housing. What it will do is create more housing, but as we've seen in other areas across town, more housing doesn't mean lower cost housing.
All right, so two different sides here, Jennifer Gamble and Jacob Coupin, who both do believe that more conversations need to be had for this rezoning proposal. Metro Councilman Coupin says that these bills have been deferred for now. They're still in a first reading and will be talked about in their meeting coming up. That's expected to happen on April 2nd. But Mr. Coupin has said they may defer them again until next year, so stay tuned. We want to hear from you on this. Do you think that Nashville needs more affordable housing options? We've got this live poll going right now, and we just posted this like an hour ago. We've already had 236 votes, and 59% of you say yes, Nashville needs more affordable housing. If you scan that QR code right there on your screen with your smartphone camera, it'll take you to the link. You can vote right there, and you can leave us a comment. Let us know what you think.
Well, covering the Capitol now, there's a bill that could result in a tax refund for thousands of Tennessee business owners. The measure lawmakers are considering would repeal a state property tax on businesses because court rulings suggest the tax is unconstitutional. Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch has the details.
Right now, every company in the state pays a franchise tax on its operations. The amount is tied to the company's net worth or the value of the property that they own in Tennessee, whichever is greater. The law has been on the books since 1937.
This legislation removes the property measure so that companies pay on net worth alone, which is consistent with the way this tax is generally administered in other states that have this tax.
Turns out only 15 other states do, and state leaders say it's been an issue when trying to recruit companies to come here. The governor wants to get rid of this because he's afraid some company or companies will sue, as they have in other states, and Tennessee will be on the hook for damages.
It would also require the department to establish a fund from which refunds could be made to any taxpayer that overpaid based off of the property tax measure of the franchise tax during the last 3 tax periods.
The state estimates the most the refunds could cost is about $1.6 billion. It's essentially a tax cut there for the asking. In case you were wondering, the state has never done anything like this before.
What's the need to give people who may not have a claim, may not have damages, a refund?
There's no reason to think those won't result in litigation imminently if this is not resolved.
The stakes are high as the property portion of this tax generates about $400 million a year for the state. Right now, the state can afford the refunds. In a few years, who knows?
That was Scott Couch reporting there. Senate lawmakers discussing the bill at length yesterday. They are expected to go ahead and vote on this next week. Of course, we'll keep you posted on any updates.
A few minutes before 7 o'clock right now. So for those of you who are, getting the kids together, getting the backpacks and lunches and
the coffee,
your work stuff ready, and you're getting ready to head out the door in the next few minutes, how's the weather going to cooperate or not?
Yeah, it's really kind of where you're at right now. If you are well west of Nashville, I don't think you need the rain gear for the rest of today. If you are Nashville on east, definitely bus stops this morning. We want to have the rain gear ready. The umbrella should be okay, not too breezy outside, and that continues to linger into the plateau for this afternoon, so you may even need the umbrella as late as 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Dog walking, we're going to have wet paws everywhere, though, that has seen the rain in the last day or two. Our dog of the day Boomer's like, just let me go outside and play ball. This picture sent in by Hadley and Emmy from Spring Hill. Play ball indoors for the next couple of hours, and this afternoon when we start drying out a little bit, should be good for you. 57 degrees at 9, 63 at noon, and 64 degrees at 3 p.m. Cool start to the day, a little fog, and again, the rain's still pretty prevalent in some areas. We're going to look at that in less than 5 minutes before we even get to 7 o'clock. But I want to give you your 7-day forecast to piece it all together. 65 degrees today, 70 tomorrow, 68 on Friday. Late Friday into Saturday is our best chance for some scattered showers. I would say afternoon, rain starts, a few storms overnight Friday night into Saturday, and then rain ends Saturday, the second half of the day.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Here's a look at recent snow in Northern California south of the Oregon border, and a foggy view framed with greenery in Pawleys Island, South Carolina. In Abingdon, Virginia, these tulips are urging springtime to catch up. A vibrant scene to start the day in Tennessee, and back in Virginia, a sunset snapshot to wrap up Monday along the James River.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 6:51. Let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with in the traffic. I've got 2 words for you: wet mess. That's what's happening out there on the roads. This is going to be I-65 at the I-24 junction coming down from Jolton and Whites Creek. We're down to 1 lane here because of a crash involving an 18-wheeler. The fire department is there dealing with that. You can try to take Whites Creek Pike or Clarksville Pike to steer clear. And you may want to do that because once you get past that, we've got another one here. This is 65 near Trinity Lane. That crash on the shoulder. Look at the drive times very quickly. 77 minutes coming out from Clarksville. A full 1 hour and a half coming in from Murfreesboro right now.
Justin, new this morning, we're taking you to Kentucky, where the Republican-led Senate passing a bill granting the right to collect child support for unborn children.
Interesting here, under this measure, again, this is in Kentucky, a parent would be able to seek child support for pregnancy expenses and then going through up to 1 year after giving birth. Now, this bill in Kentucky overwhelmingly gaining bipartisan support and is now advancing to the House for a vote.
This bill does come amid the recent ruling from the Alabama Supreme Court. That's where frozen embryos are considered legally protected children.
8 minutes, just about 7 minutes now before 7 o'clock, and the push to ban TikTok. We're going to get to the latest efforts to try to disentangle China from that social media app.
All right, and
after serious accidents, if you've been injured, ask around. I'll bet someone you trust will tell you, get Hughes and Coleman and get it done. Call 800-800-4600.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. 6:55 is your time right now, and a live look from Metro Center. This is the camera view looking out toward the Titans practice facility, home of our Tennessee Titans. And gosh, they're doing a lot of work in the off season right now. As you can see in Metro Center, really gloomy, kind of rainy start to the day, just like it is for most of you. Waking up with us, we'll get new tracks on your forecast. We'll let you know where that rain's going to pop up and when it'll finally clear out in just a few minutes.
Now that award season is here, your movie knowledge, you can put it to the test, then win some extra cash by playing our Fox 17 News Hollywood Trivia Contest.
Yeah, if you're a movie buff, this is your time. Grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen right now for the chance to answer today's trivia question and the chance to win that $100 Visa gift card. You get it right, you could win. Plus, the daily prize winners are also eligible to win the weekly $5,000 grand prize drawing. So scan that QR code with your smartphone and good luck.
Let's talk about some science updates here and the push for TikTok. How does it relate? Okay, a bipartisan group of lawmakers introducing a new technology bill on Tuesday in an attempt to cut TikTok and get it out of ties with China.
So this bill would basically give ByteDance 6 months to either sell TikTok or face a ban in the U.S. So they're putting an ultimatum in time here. It would also prevent app stores from distributing TikTok. So that would even take that ban one step further. Lawmakers have made different attempts to ban TikTok in the U.S., but this newest legislation could be the most significant threat to the app so far.
Some experts are raising concerns now about how the bill could potentially impact First Amendment rights. It's a story we'll continue updating here on Fox 17 News. We're going to check in now when it comes to your forecast, though. Some folks are waking up to some light sprinkles out there, and it's impacting traffic.
That it is, and this is one of those days where you're waking up and the rain may already be done, but the result of the rain overnight is still going to give us a lingering impact on traffic here all the way through at least probably 9 o'clock, I would say, when it comes to wet roadways. Taking a look at top of the radar, you can see that the rain has moved significantly quicker the last 2 hours. Here is a 4-hour just loop of that rain moving, and for about 2 hours it just kind of hung out right where it was at, right over Nashville, right over the Cumberland Plateau, even the yellows and oranges. It has died down in scope, and now it's moving much quicker and continuing to weaken out toward the plateau. I'm going to stop this and put it back in real time for you and take a look. Murfreesboro, you're going to end the sprinkles in a few minutes, but you're not done. You'll get about a 10-minute gap, and then we'll bring more rain right back into town. So maybe you're waiting to let the dog out. Kids are heading to the bus stop. You're not quite in the clear yet. We'll keep our eyes on the radar for you about every 5 minutes or so as we go into our 7 o'clock half hour.
Right now, steer clear traffic, 6:58. Checking things out here with the police presence and TDOT at I-24 at the I-65 junction. This is going to slow down your morning commute if you are leaving places like Jolton and trying to get into Nashville. This is between Old Hickory Boulevard and I-65, so just make sure you move over to the left to steer clear of this issue. On the right, a new steer clear traffic update in about 5 minutes.
Let's talk about late fees. Federal regulators taking a step towards trashing junk fees. On Tuesday, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau finalizing regulation that caps most credit card late charges to $8.
All right, so according to that agency, this would save U.S. families more than $10 billion a year. That's a lot of late fees. For the more than 45 million people who are charged late fees every year, that works out to a savings of about $220 per year.
Okay, so not everyone, though, agrees with this change. In fact, the chief policy officer at the U.S. Chamber letting us know that some consumers say it doesn't, well, it wrongly punishes, I should say, those who pay their bills on time. The Chamber also said it will soon file a lawsuit against the Protection Bureau.
This morning, authorities in Paris have announced some changes for the upcoming 2024 Summer Olympic Games. Tourists will no longer be allowed to watch the opening ceremony along the Seine River for free. The French government says this is by invitation only.
Wow. The French government citing security concerns, notably recent terror threats for those particular changes. The invitations will be allocated to towns hosting Olympic events, local sports organizations, and other Olympic organizers.
Yeah, so if you're someone who's like planning your summer vacation with your family
to go to that,
and you're thinking you're going to watch from the Seine, no, you're not.
Invite only.
Invite only. I mean, unless you know people in high places, and maybe you do, but just a heads up there. We are starting our 7 o'clock hour right now with all of your local news, weather, and traffic headlines.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
I'm too far away, I won't make it. My engine turned off. I'm at 1,600. I'm going to be landing, I don't know where.
We're gathering more information. Fox 17 News sharing the calls for help from the pilot of a small plane that crashed along I-40 and missing since February. We have updates on the ground search for a Sumner County teenager, while investigators are now shifting gears in their search efforts. And Nashville voters hitting the polls on Super Tuesday, casting ballots in the presidential primaries. We have breaking news updates on how the 2024 race is now shaping up.
Waking up with wet pavement and more showers coming down for now when the rain ends for your Wednesday and moves back in for Friday and unfortunately Saturday in your forecast.
All right, a lot to get to. Do want to start, though, by thanking you for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We are always your only live local news source from 7 until 9 a.m. When those other stations go to their national programming, that is pre-recorded, but we stay live and local just for you and Erica. We do have a lot of big local headlines and updates this morning.
I'm declaring emergency. Do you have the airport in sight? Straight in runway 2. Straight in runway 2 at Johnson. Do you have the airport?
Yes, I have the runway in sight.
All right, you're hearing those tough calls there. Continuing coverage on the deadly plane crash beside I-40 in West Nashville. We now know the victims include 2 adults and 3 children. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar has been on the scene near I-40 working to get some more information. Karen, what is the latest update this Wednesday morning?
We're working to get a few questions answered, like what were the qualifications of the pilot and who were the victims that died in this crash. We reached out to multiple agencies, including the NTSB, who is leading this investigation, and we're waiting to hear back. But first, I want to show you where this crash happened. It happened behind me next to I-40 East, and I want you to walk with me. It happened right here. NTSB investigators say the plane departed from Canada, made a couple stops to get some gas, and then on their way to the John C. Toone Airport crashed right here. And the NTSB took the plane to Springfield, and later today at 9 will be putting the plane back together to determine what caused the engine failures. But you can see behind me that there are the tire marks of that plane, and we also have seen gloves on the ground, potentially from investigators who were on the scene for hours. Now, we know that the crash happened around 7:40 Monday night. Investigators say 5 people were on board, including 3 children and 2 adults who are Canadian citizens. During a press conference yesterday, Aaron McCarter, the air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, says that there is more that needs to be uncovered, but he also discloses what we already know of what could have happened that caused that plane crash. Take a listen.
For reasons unknown, the aircraft descended at Toone Airport and passed overhead at 2,500 feet. The pilot reported that he was going to pass over the airport at 2,500 feet. Reported a
in the preliminary stages. They're expecting to release their preliminary report in the next 10 days. And they are asking also the public if they have any evidence like camera footage of what might have happened to please contact the NTSB. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And to see all of our previous coverage, including video of the aftermath of that crash, go to fox17.com and search crash and I-40.
We work any leads that we get, but unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of leads.
That is the sad truth from Sumner County this morning. We have continuing coverage now as the search for Sebastian Rogers does continue, but it is scaled back, and it's scaled back a lot. The Sumner County Sheriff's Office says no new leads overnight. The 15-year-old with autism disappeared last Sunday night into Monday morning. So we are now on day 9. And people from all over have come together to try to find this young man. And so far, no leads. Dogs not even picking up a scent of Sebastian outside of the home. So they have now scaled back the search efforts, and they are now focusing on the investigation. What that means specifically is something we are still working to find out. If you have any information, please contact authorities. Fox 17 News has been on top of this search for Sebastian since day one, and we will continue to bring you these updates. In fact, I just posted something over on my Facebook page with regards to following this story for you. You can head to fox17.com to stay up to date on all of our coverage. Right now, 7:05 is your time, and for those of you who are just getting up and starting your day, we want to make sure you have a great look at the forecast before you head out.
That we do. Top of the radar right now has been an ever-changing and fluid motion for us here this entire morning. It was almost at a standstill when it came to where the rain was at 2 a.m. through around 5:30 this morning, and now things have picked up a little bit. Top of the radar showing us that there are some showers that are still out in our eastern counties, but the Nashville area itself has begun to dry out. Still cloudy, still some visibility issues, definitely damp grass, and definitely going to have wet pavement. That's not going away anytime soon today, but I'm going to do what I enjoy doing sometimes here, because all of us are socked into the rain. There's no tracking what is already there. It's right on top of you. So I'm going to give you a few reverse tracks. I'm going to flip the track and reverse it. The end of this is the end of the rain. So when does the dry air make its way toward Manchester? We'll say in about 20-25 minutes, you're going to go from this light rain you've had almost consistently here the past couple of hours to breaking it up into some sprinkles and to some lighter rain. One more reverse track. When does the drier air make its way in toward Murfreesboro? About 20-25 minutes. So we're literally on the tail end of the rain in some areas. If you're to the east of this, you are in that steady, consistent rain. We'll keep letting you know when it's going to end, coming up in every check of the forecast.
All right, thank you, Greg. Let's get to your steer clear traffic this morning. We're following several things. Let's get started with I-24 and I-65 north and west of town. We were dealing with an 18-wheeler that was there on the shoulder a short time ago. They've been able to move that out of the way, thankfully. So it looks like they're going to be able to open up all lanes of traffic coming in from the Whites Creek area coming up in a few minutes. Let's take a look here at 65 at Trinity Lane. We've got a couple of cars involved in a crash here on the shoulder of the road. You want to take Brickchurch Pike, Dickerson Pike, Ellington Parkway. That's the best way to steer clear. The traffic times are an absolute mess this morning. 77 minutes from Clarksville, an hour and a half right now from Murfreesboro. Well, coming up, state lawmakers are banning dogs at tables in restaurants. We're going to tell you why they say too many people are trying to use the label as service animals to put dogs in places some people may not want.
And at 7:07 right now, a live look from Nashville. I know it's looking rainy and dreary and foggy, but I want you to know coming up in 5 minutes, we're going to get the latest local updates from our...
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:10 this morning. Okay, dog owners out there, listen up. There's a question before the Tennessee legislature right now, and they're asking state lawmakers, should your dog be allowed to eat with you at a table in your favorite restaurant? Some Tennessee lawmakers are saying, no. They say way too many dog owners are calling their favorite pets service animals or emotional support animals in order to bring them into areas like restaurants. And in some cases, the pets are eating with them right off the plates. Lawmakers say it's got to stop.
The problem that we're running into is that we've gotten to the point where there's so many bad actors taking advantage of way too easy certification processes where they don't have to take anything in. That's just automatically you get approved online. It's an emotional support animal. In most instances, we're dealing with just some protections for restaurant owners when there's bad actors.
Now, this law in particular is for restaurant, and it would empower restaurants to make sure they've got something on the books. So if they do not want dogs sitting at the table with their owners eating off the same plates, they can ask them to please stop it or leave. Next year, they want to bring a similar type of law to grocery stores as well.
Taking a look here, 7:11 at your forecast. The big three things to know getting us into the weekend. We just talked about our rain, where it's at, where it's ending, and we'll continue to track it for you. But I want you to know that after this morning rain, we'll be done until late Friday. We're talking Friday, almost Friday afternoon, and then that will really ramp up overnight into your Saturday. Just not quite as warm either. 78 degrees. Monday was great. That was Monday. Yesterday was low 70s. Today, mid 60s. We've been kind of dropping the temperature stair step by stair step. Taking a look here, more thunderstorms will take us Friday into Saturday, so planning your weekend is pivotal. I'll make sure you know the exact hour-by-hour timeline with a look at future track, but the broad strokes this morning just out the door. We got wet pavement, we have wet grass, the whole 9 yards here to start off the day. The cloud cover, that's not going away for us here at all today, so the gloominess keeps us a little on the cooler side with those temperatures that will be keeping us in the 60s this afternoon. Good news is, though, that arrow's not moving. We're not doing anything when it comes to code red weather for any strong thunderstorms. We will track those into the weekend. We'll find when the rain ends for today. And coming up in the next check of your forecast here within the next 10 minutes, actually, I should say, we're going to meet your dogs of the day.
As long as you don't bring them to restaurants, we're okay. Steer clear traffic outside to I-65 as you take a quick look there near Trinity Lane. A bit of a slowdown because of a crash. We'll tell you the best ways to steer clear.
Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Fox 17 News, your code red weather station.
Good morning. Welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. 7:15 is your time. Let's talk Super Tuesday results. They have been coming in overnight and early this morning from across the country and here at home. And on the national scale, former President Trump wins the Republican nomination for Tennessee. And this does set up what would appear to be a showdown between Biden and Mr. Trump.
Yeah, so we're taking a closer look at the results here in Tennessee. We know Mr. Trump and Nikki Haley faced off in the Republican primary, with Trump taking a win with 77% of the vote. He is now going to receive the state's 51 delegates. When it comes to the Democratic Party, President Biden getting that expected win in Tennessee with almost 8% of the voters choosing uncommitted. Okay, well, Fox 17 News, we had the opportunity to catch up with political expert Linda Schatt about what the potential candidates face over the next coming months.
The Nikki Haley vote appears to be more an anti-Trump vote than a pro-Haley vote. And so the question becomes, where do those voters go in November? President Biden is facing a growing uncommitted movement that started in Michigan last week, with Democrats, particularly young Democrats, wanting to send a message to him concerning his handling of Gaza and the war in the Middle East. So the question there for his campaign will be, can they bring those voters home in November?
We also need to talk about the breaking news, though, right? Because Nikki Haley is set to announce this morning that she is dropping out of the primaries. So that is the update there. Also, taking a look at your screen right here, we're talking about the ballot for a close race when it comes to the District 1 Metro Council, our Metro Nashville Public School Board seat. So here are some of the results on your screen. Robert Taylor taking the edge over LaTanya Winfrey. The other 4 seats up for grabs in this year's election are District 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now the general election, that is set for the 1st of August.
All right, so that's the Metro School Board. Let's go to Sumner County now, where folks there had the option to pass a proposed tax increase in the primary. And looking at the results right now, with a total of just over 9,000 coming in, 63.7% of voters say they are for that increase in the sales tax. It would provide, according to the mayor's office, money limited to 10 years, and then would be used to pave roads, invest in public safety, and Sumner County Park improvements. So again, for those of you in Sumner County, it does look like that sales tax increase is passed.
Making headlines this morning, Metro Police say a licensed bouncer at a popular Midtown bar knocked a 26-year-old unconscious.
Family members telling Fox 17 News that Austin Turner is not expected to survive, taken off of life support.
Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse joining us now in studio. And Peyton, you have been speaking with Austin's mother.
That's right, and the mother tells us that she wouldn't wish this upon anyone, and this happened right outside of Tin Roof, where the bouncer actually works. Metro Police say last month, Austin Turner and Tin Roof's bouncer, Richard Cornelius, got into an argument around 12:15 in the morning. According to police, the bouncer did not allow Turner back into the bar, and that's when a fight broke out. Police say Cornelius hit Turner and he fell to the ground, leaving Turner unconscious from that point on. Turner's family says his skull was fractured and surgery was not enough to stop massive strokes. Turner's family having to say goodbye after he fought for his life for 16 days. According to the affidavit, surveillance nearby shows Cornelius swinging at Turner several times and striking him at least once. The family says Turner was waiting for an Uber and they're asking for anyone with information to come forward. Now, Cornelius was let out on a $25,000 bond, and I reached out to the bar and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting in studio, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code station.
7:19, your forecast, taking a look ahead to the rest of today, where the rain is at now, where it's headed, and how long it's going to take to just get out of the area and dry us out toward the afternoon. You can see that mainly east of I-65 now. There's not much action happening here off to the west. If you're in Clarksville, Dickson, Centerville, Hopkinsville, all those villas out there, we're looking good to go. If you get closer to Nashville itself, though, we're not 100% in the clear. Look right here. We have these little, and I mean they are very little, sprinkles that kind of develop on the backside of a system like this. So you may have one or two more of those we have to contend with. It's not impressive. It's not going to last long, but just definitely have an umbrella in case here for the next hour or two in Nashville. 57 degrees, wet pavement everywhere. Looking up, cloud cover just about everywhere. Keep that in mind. Showers are the name of the game here still, especially east of I-65. As I mentioned, grabbing the umbrella, light rainfall, standing water in spots, filled up potholes. If you drive on a road where you know there are already potholes typically, but you just forget, don't forget, because they may be filled with water and you may not be able to easily see them. That's the name of the game here today. 65 degrees later this afternoon, 70 degrees going into tomorrow, and then we just see the bottom drop out in the temperature department, not just afternoons. 62 on Saturday, oof. 38 Saturday night into Sunday morning, and 35 degrees Sunday into Monday. We'll talk more about your weekend and meet your dog of the day coming up in a few minutes.
Stay clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening on I-65. This is at Trinity Lane. As you make that drive down from the north side there this morning, we are dealing with a bit of a crash that has now been moved from one side of the road to the other. I may want to switch the camera on this, as a matter of fact, which I'll do coming up in a few minutes. But we want to let you know that it is out there. As a matter of fact, they say the blockage has cleared now about a mile before 87. This is 87 right here at Trinity Lane. So the crash is over on the shoulder. You can still see the backup back behind it. Ellington Parkway, Brickchurch Pike, Dickerson Pike, those are all good ways to steer clear. We also want to talk about the slowdown coming in from the west. Now, this is our camera at I-40 at American Road. This is where they had that small plane crash earlier in the week. It was causing big backups and people slowing down to look. Yesterday, the wreckage is gone, but people are still slowing down to take a look at that scene, and that's causing some more backups as you head towards Bellevue. You can take Highway 70 to steer clear.
Justin, thank you very much. 7:21. We just mentioned a moment ago the breaking news that Nikki Haley is planning to drop out of the presidential race this morning. We'll have more updates in 2 minutes.
Love every second of it. Bad boys are built for horsepower and cutting-edge precision with a first-of-its-kind 3-link suspension and a style all their own. Because you're not everyone, and that's a good thing. Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Eyes are on the White House and the presidential primary bid. We're learning more about Nikki Haley's plans, though, to suspend her efforts. We talked about this a couple of minutes ago, but do want to share some more details. Now, sources familiar with Nikki Haley's plans say that she is going to make an announcement later this morning. Now, some folks are wondering, is she going to endorse Donald Trump? Well, we're told in her announcement she's not going to do that. Instead, Nikki Haley is expected to encourage him to earn the support of the coalition of moderate Republicans and then independent voters who supported her. Haley will make an appearance to deliver brief remarks in Charleston, South Carolina around 9 o'clock this morning. We'll be sure to share any updates on air and online at fox17.com.
7:25 your time. Time to meet our dog of the day here as we do each and every morning on Fox 17 News this morning. And our dog of the day is Boomer, sent in by Hadley and Emmy from Spring Hill. Boomer already has the ball ready to go. I'll tell you right now, maybe a little morning playtime is the best way to go, but the afternoon, girls, go ahead and get Boomer outside. And you can have a nice good catch outdoors because the rain's going to end. 57 degrees right now, 63 at noon, 64 degrees at 3 p.m. So the later in the day we go, the less rain we see. Might even get a little bit of sunshine here on your Wednesday. But right now we're stuck in the cloud cover. That's going to continue. Temperatures are in the 50s. We're going to have wet paw pads getting out there. Have the towel by the front door. Probably a good bet when the dogs get in. How do you send in your photos? You go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bovis is the page. You find that picture right there. That's my mail carrier. She brings my mail directly to me, and that is how your picture gets directly on air. This weekend, what can we expect? Showers and storms for Friday into Saturday. Much cooler both days. 62 on Saturday. Sunday's the better day when it comes to no rain, but it's also cold. We start in the 30s and end in the 50s.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's quickly get to 65 at Trinity Lane, the north side. Read the sign square in the middle of the screen, courtesy at TDOT. Reduce speeds during wet conditions. Good advice, as we've been dealing with multiple crashes out there so far this morning, causing slowdowns. We've got another one to tell you about coming in from Franklin. This is I-65 at Moores Lane from Cool Springs. Things are a little bit slow there. You can always take Franklin Pike. It's a good way to steer clear from the south side.
Now to a story that has touched the hearts of so many people here in the Mid-State. We go to Operation Crime and Justice, where the search for justice goes to St. Louis for the trial of the man who is accused of hitting a Mid-State student athlete, causing her to lose both of her legs.
Now, prosecutors say 21-year-old Daniel Riley was speeding through downtown St. Louis through an intersection last February when he should have never been on the roads to begin with. He hit 17-year-old Janae Edmonds, who was in town for a volleyball tournament. She got pinned between both cars, ended up losing both of her legs.
So yesterday, an emotional day for day one in the courtroom, as Janae's father testified about the moments after the crash.
I heard Janae screaming, and I looked down at her, and she was yelling, "Dad, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs." When I looked down and saw her, I looked and I saw that her left leg, she was on her stomach, and she was on her left leg was completely severed.
Oh my goodness.
Riley has been charged with assault, as well as armed criminal action and driving without a license. He was supposed to be on house arrest at the time of the crash.
Our property values are going to go down. I would say that if it passed, that most people is going to move out.
Fox 17 News asking Metro Council members some tough questions about a plan that would change zoning in some Nashville neighborhoods. An update on that in your next half hour.
Plus, we are continuing to follow the aftermath of that plane crash investigation in West Nashville. As you're taking a look at the exact spot where that plane came to rest.
Somewhere else, we'll match it. Get the lowest price with our lowest price guarantee. You got this. We got you.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Wet pavement, overcast, and yeah, visibility issues here this morning as well. A lot here in the Weather Center. The good news, rain tapering down for Nashville, but we're not quite done across the board. We're time to get in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to 65 at Trinity Lane on the north side. We got a bit of a mess of the shoulder causing a big slowdown. We'll tell you the best ways to steer clear.
Wow, that is a lot of fog. Hey, thank you so much for waking up with us here on a busy Wednesday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. And we do have breaking news updates this morning. We begin with continuing coverage right now on that deadly plane crash along I-40 in West Nashville. Our news reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live out there this morning. Karen, I know that you have had a chance to listen to that air traffic control conversation involving the pilot. And we've also heard from investigators there who have wrapped up their work on the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. That audio was heartbreaking, which we will share with you in the next half hour. But for now, we've been working to identify the victims, and the NTSB is leading this investigation and has not gotten back to us yet. But what we do know so far from the NTSB is that 3 children and 2 adults were on board the plane that crashed right here next to I-40 East in this very spot where I'm standing. And if you walk with me, I want to show you some of these tire marks behind me. You can see that it leads from here to about that, and the plane was relatively small. Now I want you to take a look at your screen to what a driver saw as they were going down I-40 East on Monday night. The plane engulfed in flames, pieces of it on the ground. during a press conference yesterday. Aaron McCarter, the air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, says the plane departed from Canada, made a couple of stops on the way to John Tune Airport before crashing. The pilot reported engine failure to air traffic control, and the NTSB has taken the plane to Springfield, Tennessee to figure out what caused that engine failure. They are now asking for the public's help. Take a listen.
Right now, the most important thing to do is preserve the non-perishable evidence, and the perishable evidence, including witness statements, doorbell cameras. Costco right here, they have a video that we were able to acquire that showed the actual impact.
They asked if you have any information or evidence to please contact them. Their email is on our website at fox17.com. We also are trying to figure out what the qualifications of the pilot were, and we've reached out to the NTSB. We're waiting to hear back. When we have the information, we'll bring it to you. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Happening right now, the search is continuing for 7-year-old right here reported missing from Rutherford County. The TBI says Iris Crum was last seen March 1st in Murfreesboro near Blue Fox Trail. So take a look at your screen right now. They're also searching for Iris's mother, 30-year-old Kalila Serrata, who is wanted by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office for custodial interference. If you know where either of these two could be, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
7:34 your time, taking a look at your forecast. Depending upon where you're at, things are either still right where they were an hour ago when it comes to steady rainfall, or you're starting to break it up. But the problem that we're seeing here, and we saw it on our sky camera right at the beginning of 7:30, was that now the areas that don't have the rain coming down, it's warm and we've got all of that water on the ground. Now we're getting some fog that has settled in some areas, including Nashville itself. It's not everywhere, so keep that in mind, but you may encounter some pockets. You may actually get out of the rain and then drive into some fog, vice versa. Drive through some fog and then get into some rain. Keep that in mind here. 20 minutes, though, until the rain ends in the Murfreesboro area. Not completely. There might be a little spritz of water here or there, a little sprinkle, but the steadier, consistent rainfall. McMinnville, I'm pointing you out because there's a little bit of dry air behind you before one more round of rain that'll last a good 45 minutes. So use these dry pockets as they settle in within the next half hour to try to get outside if you have to. Low beams this morning, 100%. Sun is up, don't care. Make sure we're being safe and keeping everyone safe out there. Taking a look right here, these darker greens, this leading edge of some rain pulling through Crossville and also out towards Spring City. It's moving away and out of the viewing area really as we speak, but just keep it in mind that we're definitely seeing some rain moving from Middle Tennessee into East Tennessee very quickly. Showers do end this morning, cooling trend into the weekend, and we'll time our next weather maker that arrives before the end of the week.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. It is a wet mess out there on the roads. We're going to show you one crash and get right to the drive time. So let's get started at I-65 at Trinity Lane. The warning there from TDOT, reduce speeds during wet conditions so you don't have to deal with these kinds of situations here on the shoulder of the road. This crash at one point was on the opposite side. They had to stop traffic, move it to the other side so they can operate there. You want to use Ellington Parkway, Dickerson Pike. Those could be your best to steer clear. Now the drive times, and let me tell you before I move it out of the way, they are pretty high. Clarksville coming in at 77 minutes right now from Montgomery County. 91 minutes. It's an hour and a half. If you left Murfreesboro right now, you would not get to Nashville before 9 o'clock. That is what our instruments say. 50 minutes right now coming in from Hendersonville.
Do you think this could have helped with affordable housing, or wouldn't have much of an impact?
Well, the Fox 17 News team asking questions, trying to get some answers as a potential zoning change causes quite a stir in Nashville, specifically Green Hills.
Right. So under this plan, builders would be allowed to tear down a single family home and then put in condos or multifamily housing. We have some Metro Council members like Jacob Coopin introducing this for multifamily and 2-family units, trying to address the issue of affordability in Nashville.
This is not going to solve affordable housing completely across the board. But it does give a tool to allow for slightly smaller units with increased density.
I don't think it would have much of an impact. The way that it's proposed, it doesn't do anything, or there's no evidence to show that it will address affordable housing. What it will do is create more housing, but as we've seen in other areas across town, more housing doesn't mean lower cost housing.
Now, both of them do agree that something needs to happen, but Coopin says these bills have been deferred.
They're going to take it up again April 2nd. Coopin has said they might end up deferring the bills until next year, though.
Well, coming up, walking out of the parking lot and finding a boot on your car. Ooh, makes for a pretty bad day. State lawmakers, though, are considering a bill that would better protect you.
And Fox 17 News giving you a couple different live looks of a rainy, foggy, just kind of overall gross start to your Wednesday. This is definitely another day to...
This is the Black Card Spa. Join now for $1 down, $24.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends March 15th.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Happening right now, we have a state lawmaker who has just introduced a bill that would better regulate parking and towing companies across the state of Tennessee. And this would get to something that has probably happened to all of us at one time or another. You walk out and you find a boot on your car in the parking lot.
Oh, it makes you mad. State Senator Jack Johnson leading the charge for the big change here. This bill would make it illegal for anyone to put a boot on your car unless the local government there within the city has license and it is regulating them. If your car does get the big boot, the parking attendant has to be available within 30 minutes of your call to get it off.
It might be surprising to some, but I've received calls from constituents that literally there are individuals out there that will go out somewhere and buy one of these booting devices and show up in parking lots and start putting boots on people's cars and then waiting for them to come out of the restaurant and then telling them they have to pay $200 or something in order to get that boot removed.
Man, what a scam that is. This bill would cap the booting fee as well at $75. There are some places, different tow companies that basically can charge what they want.
Yeah.
Their drop fees are $200. So just an interesting development. Again, this is just a proposal. There are some other, points to it, and we'll follow it as it makes its way through the legislature.
7:42, quick look at your forecast here. Getting up, getting out the door. Things have died down a little bit in the Nashville area. 57 degrees. We had some rain overnight. Now a sprinkle or two can't be ruled out, but most of our rain is done, and we're now left with some fog in many areas across Middle Tennessee. We're going to see some light rainfall to the east of Nashville. Then the fog may settle in, so keep that in mind. Standing water in spots, a lot of ponding, and yeah, we're going to just say be very cautious getting out the door because of that 1-2 combination. Looking at the rest of this morning, we're going to see Future Track show us that we do have the rain moving out of the area going into this late morning, early afternoon. The last places to see rain, the more east we go. I'll tell you, Nashville, by lunchtime, we're looking pretty good. Up until then, that chance for a sprinkle just cannot be ruled out.
Coming up, I've got an update on your steer clear traffic and some outrageous drive times coming in.
Getaway sales event. Get in and get away now before these deals are gone. Lease an Elantra for $179 a month or get 4.49% APR for 60 months or $1,000 bonus cash. Hurry, offers end soon.
Developing now, an investigation is underway into the shooting death of a teenager Monday night. Metro Police say it happened around 8:30 on Lamont Drive. They say 16-year-old Henry C. Taylor was found with a gunshot wound to the chest. He was taken to the hospital where he later died.
Police say the motive for this shooting still very much under investigation.
Covering the Capitol now, there is a bill that could result in tax refunds for thousands of Tennessee business owners. In simple terms, the measure lawmakers are considering would repeal a state property tax on businesses because court rulings suggest the tax is unconstitutional. Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch has the details.
Right now, every company in the state pays a franchise tax on its operations. The amount is tied to the company's net worth or the value of the property that they own in Tennessee, whichever is greater. The law has been on the books since 1937.
This legislation removes the property measure so that companies pay on net worth alone, which is consistent with the way this tax is generally administered in other states that have this tax.
Turns out only 15 other states do, and state leaders say it's been an issue when trying to recruit companies to come here. The governor wants to get rid of this because he's afraid some company or companies will sue, as they have in other states, and Tennessee will be on the hook for damages.
It would also require the department to establish a fund from which refunds could be made to any taxpayer that overpaid based off of the property tax measure of the franchise tax during the last 3 tax periods.
The state estimates the most the refunds could cost is about $1.6 billion. It's essentially a tax cut there for the asking. In case you were wondering, the state has never done anything like this before.
What's the need to give people who may not have a claim, may not have damages, a refund?
There's no reason to think those won't result in litigation imminently if this is not resolved.
The stakes are high as the property portion of this tax generates about $400 million a year for the state. Right now, the state can afford the refunds. In a few years, who knows?
Well, Senate lawmakers discussing this bill at length yesterday, and they do expect to vote on it next week. We'll be sure to keep you posted both on air and online.
Right now, 7:47 is the time, and we're going to go spend a little bit of time with our meteorologist, Greg Bobas, to talk about all this weird weather we've been having.
It's been kind of, weird's actually the perfect word for it, because we're warm, but it feels damp and gloomy.
Well, and when you look at what we've seen the last few weeks, everything from, snow flurries to below freezing
to extreme heat,
near record warm. I mean, it's just, it's that time of year here in Middle Tennessee.
This is that time where we really shift, and we can get both seasons in one day, we can get both seasons in 1 week, we can get 3 seasons in 1 week, depending upon it. February into March really is that big time where everything begins to turn over. Taking a look right now, rain moving in, a cool front bringing in all that rain. So the low to middle upper 70s we saw Monday and Tuesday, those are a thing of the past. Today we're going to be in the mid 60s. You can see where the rain is at. Let's do a couple of things here for you. Nashville looking pretty good. Now everywhere that is west of these 2 bands of rain, a few light sprinkles and a little mist on the windshield can't be ruled out through around 11 o'clock. So we're not completely done, but the consistent, steady rainfall will be done. So if you're in Smithville right now, we're going to do a little math for you. I'll do it for you. I'll just tell you. In about 17 to 20 minutes, this band of rain you've been stuck under for a good hour is going to move away from you. You got a little pocket of clearing here. Maybe you got a little time to jump outside and head back inside, or maybe get in the car and drive downtown. You can see this little gap we've got right here. So it's 17 minutes until it gets to you, the end of the rain. What does it mean when it comes to the next batch getting to you? It'll be there in about 25 minutes. So you're going to have less than a 10-minute window to get outside and then have to maybe head right back. I'd still grab an umbrella in case, but you will see a little pocket of dry air that moves in. You can always track along like I just did right there. You get the Fox 17 Code Red weather app. You can zoom in on your hometown. You can check on the radar just like I do even when you're on the go. It's especially useful on days when you leave the house and it's not raining, and you're going, oh, I have to go back in the car later and drive home. You can check the forecast before you're heading out the door. Talking about out the door, maybe you want to get outside this weekend. If you're looking for the warmer day, it's going to be Saturday. We've got to talk timeline. Showers and storms possible Friday and Saturday. Weather maker moves in going into the second half of Friday primarily. A few showers in the morning, but consistent rainfall. Friday afternoon. Into the overnight, we bring in the thunderstorm aspect of it into the beginning of your Saturday. Rain dying down late Saturday is your best chance to get outside and try to avoid some rain. Sunday is the dry day, but it's also going to be the colder day. You wake up in the 30s. In the afternoon, we'll only be in the 50s.
Steer clear traffic, a lot to tell you about here, so let's get started on the north side. This is going to be I-65 and Trinity Lane right before the exit there. We do have a crash we've been dealing with there on the shoulder for some time. It is causing a bit of a slowdown. You want to try to take Ellington Parkway if you want to try and steer clear, but I just checked in over there. It's slow too, so Dickerson Pike may be the better bet trying to make your way in from the north side this morning. And if you're making that drive in, let me tell you, you are facing your fair share of problems, but even by the time you get here, let's roll you all the way back to the Hendersonville area. We just learned about a crash right here at the bend near exit 7 near Indian Lake Boulevard there. There is a crash in that area that's got chopped down to just one lane, so you can see where the bend is here and where all the red is, and right after that it turns green, because once you get past it you do a lot better. 58 minutes on the drive coming down from Hendersonville right now. Here are your other drive times that you have to deal with. Clarksville at 77 minutes coming down from Montgomery County. Still an hour and a half coming in from Murfreesboro right now. Lots of slowdown on I-24 this morning. 51 minutes coming in from Kingston Springs. Part of that slowdown, believe it or not, people still slowing down to take a look at the site where that plane crashed earlier in the week.
Justin, thank you. In Operation Crime and Justice now, Metro Police is telling folks once again to lock their doors, the car doors, and secure any valuables.
Listen, this is common sense, but they continue to have to put out this warning because of what they see in the crime rates. Don't leave your guns in your cars unless they're in a lockbox, and the lockbox is locked down to your vehicle. So far, just this year, 147 guns have been stolen from cars in Nashville. 21 guns stolen just in the last week. And folks, we all know those guns end up in the wrong hands. Metro Police say cars are easy targets because people are still leaving their keys inside or just making stuff easily available to thieves.
Metro Police are also asking for your help finding this man. Take a look at your screen. It's Teddy Cooper. They say Teddy Cooper is wanted for attempted criminal homicide and aggravated assault. We are told that Cooper has charges stemming from a Thursday night shooting at an apartment over on Star Boulevard. That is in Madison. Police say Cooper's roommate was seriously hurt. They also tell us that the two men were arguing prior to that shooting. So if you're watching, maybe you recognize this person, you were asked to go ahead and give Metro Police a call.
We're going to get some sports headlines for you coming up in our 7 and 8 o'clock hour, which starts pretty soon here. We begin with a wild night at Bridgestone Arena for the Preds, the highlights, and an unexpected shot from the game.
Hey, thanks for waking up with us here every weekday morning on Fox 17 News, your only local station with traffic and weather updates live from 4 until 9.
Whoa, congestion down.
Every week with digital coupons and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. You can always discover more ways to save big every day. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
7:55 and locking down a forecast here that has been changing a lot in the last 2 hours when it comes to who's seeing the rainfall. 2 hours ago, we had steady rain coming down in the Nashville area. That is all beginning to pond. It is causing some wet pavement everywhere across Nashville. So even though we're not seeing steady rain anymore, the after effect is now getting into play for us. Where are we still seeing the rain? Most of that is going to be east of I-65. And even Murfreesboro right now, almost splitting town in half. East side of town, some light rainfall. Out toward the west side of town, things have already started to lighten up for us, and you can see a radar update right there. They happen every 5 minutes when the radar jumps. You see the next little scan that we get from the radars. It does its whole beam around all of Middle Tennessee. Taking a look at one place that's seeing a little light sprinkle, but going to see the rain pick up even more. You got it right now in Cookeville. It's going to move into the Monterey area more steadily, so a little bit heavier here in about the next 15-20 minutes. Cookeville, I would say the timeline toward the back end of this batch that's moving in is about a half hour away, so you're stuck in it for a little while longer. Moving our way out the door, what are temperatures like? Right side of your screen, first of all, they're all the way till 9 o'clock for you every day, even during commercial breaks. 56 degrees at 8 a.m., 59 at 10. We don't really go anywhere. This afternoon, we do break up the rain across the board from the left side of the map to the right side of the map. And we will even see the possibility of a burst of sunshine in the Nashville area. However, temperature only in the middle 60s today. Coming up in your next check of your forecast, going into the 8 o'clock half hour, a new look at Future Track, because I'm already looking ahead to the next weather maker that moves in. And it's going to be an impact to a good chunk of your upcoming weekend. I'll help you plan around it.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. A couple of things to show you outside. Let's get to I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side. As you can see, they're still working on a bit of an accident there on the shoulder of the road. So heads up in that area. Traffic has been slow all morning. You want to try to use Brick Church Pike, not Elm Hill. No, not from here. Brick Church Pike, Ellington Parkway. How about that? Dickerson Pike. Those are the best ways to steer clear. I'm doing it off the top of the head, everyone. Here is another drive. This is going to be I-24 Waldron Road, making that drive in from Rutherford County. The rain continues to pour down in this area, making visibility very low. You could try to use Murfreesboro Road to steer clear, but in all actuality, leave early or call ahead. Tell them you're running late. Traffic is going to be slow coming in from Murfreesboro this morning.
Justin, thank you. Let's talk about hockey now. The Preds took on the Montreal Canadiens last night, but thanks to an unlucky shot and more, the team from Quebec snapped the Preds winning streak.
It's such a tough night, especially because of this weird shot. We'll get to that here in just a second. The Canadiens down 2-0 in the second, so they were losing, but they got one past UC Soros. Seconds later, an absolutely wild bounce goes off the glass and somehow into the goal.
What?
Yeah, watch the replay. A flick of the wrist, off the glass to the side, and into the goal. Our goalie, UC Soros, was completely out of position. Man. He was behind the net when that happened. So the game goes into overtime. It's tied at 3, 17 seconds into extra time. The Canadiens would put the puck in the net, and that would be it. The Preds' win streak ends at 8.
That was a crazy shot.
It was.
Taking a look at the Western Conference wildcard standings on your screen right here as the teams battle for just two playoff spots, okay? In those slots right now, though, the Knights 73, Preds 73, then the Blues 67, Kraken 67. So they're just trying to catch up here. It's a lot more to come when it comes to the Preds and where they stand in this.
Yeah, so the Knights and the Predators both sitting in 4th place in their divisions, just out of the top 3.
Now it is award season when it comes to movies, so put your movie knowledge to the test and you could win some extra money by playing our Fox 17 News Hollywood Trivia Contest.
Yeah, if you're a movie buff, maybe you've got a lot of old school Hollywood knowledge, this could be for you. Scan the QR code right there on your screen. If you're not familiar with this process, what you'll do is open up your smartphone camera, hold it at that little code on your screen, it'll give you a link. You tap the link, and then that'll get you registered to answer today's question. You get it right, you're entered to win that $100 daily Visa gift card, and then you're also entered to win the weekly grand prize drawing of $5,000.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
I'm too far away, I won't make it. My engine turned off, I'm at 1,600. I'm going to be landing, I don't know where.
Gathering more information, Fox 17 News sharing the calls for help from the pilot of a small plane that crashed along I-40 and missing since February. We have the latest updates on the ground search for the Sumner County teenager, why investigators are shifting gears when it comes to those ongoing search efforts. And Nashville voters hitting the polls for Super Tuesday, casting ballots in the presidential primaries. We have breaking news updates on how the 2024 race is shaping up.
Rain and fog still on the radar for us here this morning. How long that lingers and what it'll mean just getting out the door to start off your Wednesday and your forecast.
All right, happy Wednesday to you. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. when the other stations go to the network programming. That's pre-recorded. It's not live here in the Mid-State, but we are, and we've got you covered live through 9.
I'm declaring an emergency. Do you have the airport in sight? Straight in runway 2. Straight in runway 2 at Johnson. Do you have the airport?
Yes, I have the runway in sight.
Continuing coverage this morning of the deadly plane crash beside I-40 over in West Nashville, showing you some of the wreckage behind us. We now know the victims include 2 adults and 3 children. And Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar. She has been covering this scene near I-40, working to get some more updates since 4 o'clock this morning. Karen, what can you share with us now?
Good morning. Well, I'm here next to I-40 East, and I want to show you the exact spot that plane crashed on Monday night. You can still see the tire marks on the ground from that small plane, and if I bend down, I can also show you, my photojournalist Madison actually pointed out there's a small piece of that plane still here. NTSB investigators were on scene all day trying to determine what happened, taking the plane over to Springfield, Tennessee to put it back together and determine what caused the engine failures. But now I want you to take a look at your screen at that fiery crash. The plane was engulfed in flames and pieces of it were scattered on the ground. NTSB said in a presser yesterday that 3 children and 2 adults were inside, all Canadian citizens. Take a listen to the heartbreaking audio of the pilot talking to air traffic control moments before they lost their lives. We warn you, this may be disturbing to hear.
Do you have the airport in sight? Straight in runway 2. Straight in runway 2 at Johnson. Do you have the airport?
Yes, I have the runway in sight.
During a press conference yesterday, NTSB investigators say they took the plane to a facility in Springfield, as I mentioned. In just an hour, that's when they're going to be putting that plane back together to, again, determine what caused those engine failures. NTSB is asking for some help in gathering evidence.
Right now, the most important thing to do is preserve the non-perishable evidence, and the perishable evidence, including witness statements, doorbell cameras.
We reached out to the NTSB to find out where they are in identifying those victims, and also we're wondering what the qualifications of the pilot are. When we have that information, we'll bring that to you. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
We work any leads that we get, but unfortunately, we haven't had a lot of leads.
That is the sad truth right now as we have continuing coverage on the search for Sebastian Rogers. Just not a lot of new information. In fact, I just checked with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office and the TBI through their social media accounts. They have no new leads right now, no updates now in really a day or two. The Amber Alert does remain active though, so as you're driving around town on the highways, you'll see those Amber Alerts still posted for Sebastian. The 15-year-old who does have autism disappeared last Monday, so we are now on day 9 of the efforts to find him. And we've had folks from all walks of life join together to try to find the young man, but just no luck, not even a scent. The dogs have not even picked up Sebastian's scent anywhere outside of the home. The search efforts have now been scaled back. Investigators now say they are moving to a different side. They are working on the investigation itself, although they have not given us any specifics on what that means. If you have any information that could help this case, please contact the authorities. And in the meantime, Fox 17 News will keep you updated on air and online. You can see all of our reporting right now at fox17.com.
8:05, kicking out the door here on a Wednesday morning. Temperatures right side of your screen. They are in the 50s. They're going to stay in the 50s through lunchtime, and then we'll creep into the low 60s. It's going to be a fairly cloudy day, and we have the rain still coming down across portions of Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky. Lafayette, Pleasant Valley, I would say in the next 15, 20 minutes, the rain's going to start to end. And now, what I mean by start to end, this will continue to happen throughout the morning. A couple little quick sprinkles will pop up. They'll give you a little quick use of the windshield wipers, and then they'll be gone. It's not going to be a steady rainfall like we've seen through most of the morning hours here. So same thing goes for Shelbyville and Tullahoma. I would give it 10 to 20 minutes before the steady rainfall is done. Then it will be the sprinkle action for the rest of this morning. Taking a look at the last 6 hours, this has barely been moving. We've been doing our best to track it, and it's just been slowing down, then speeding up, then slowing down. It's kind of wobbling back and forth, but it is moving in the general direction of the east, which means that Nashville, we're basically done aside from those light little sprinkles that may develop here over the course of the next 3 to 4 hours.
Steer clear traffic out here this morning. Let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with, and we're dealing with a lot. This is going to be 65 at 24 on the north side. Looks like we have finally cleared that crash right around Trinity Lane, so they have backed the camera up. It's not looking any better out there. The traffic's still extremely slow coming in from that north side. You can, again, try to take things like Ellington Parkway or Dickerson Pike is the best way to steer clear. It's just going to be slow. How slow? Well, take a look at this. We picked up a crash right around the Millersville area at 65, very close to exit 98 there, right around the Long Hollow Pike area, just to the north of, as a matter of fact. So this Highway 31, can't see the crash on camera, but we can definitely see the backup that is causing 72 minutes right now coming down from Franklin, Kentucky for the drive. So it's going to be slow. Other than that, this is 24 at Hickory Hollow. It's been slow all morning, around an hour and 15 minutes right now coming in from Murfreesboro. Well, state leaders are now banning dogs at the table in restaurants. We're going to tell you why. They say people are using the term service animal a little bit too much.
Do you think this could have helped with affordable housing, or would it have much of an impact?
Gray is easy. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, is easy.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance.
8:09 is the time here on this Wednesday morning. Question for you and all of you pet owners out there. Should you be allowed to take your dog with you to your favorite restaurant? And should that dog be allowed to eat with you right there at the table? Some Tennessee lawmakers say, no, you shouldn't be able to do that. But they say a lot of people are doing so, and that's why they're creating a law to make sure that that cannot happen. They say that too many pet owners out there are using their pets as service animals or emotional support animals. Now, they're not saying that doesn't exist. They know it does, and they know that people do need them. But they say way too many people are taking liberties and bringing dogs into places like restaurants, and then things like this happen.
Somebody that's carrying a dog in their arms comes into a restaurant, puts that dog in a chair, and is eating at the table. That, by definition, is not a service animal. The definition clearly lays that the dog must remain on the floor and walk with its own effort. It cannot be carried.
This actually did originate in my district from some restaurants that had reached out that were having that exact issue that you were outlining, where animals were coming in and getting on the table and eating from the plates.
Well, they are outlawing that here in Tennessee. It's passed the House, and pretty soon they're hoping it will pass the Senate as well. Next year, they want to work on a similar bill that will go for grocery stores as well.
8:11, your time still tracking a couple of showers that are out there, mainly done in the Nashville area. But if you're in the plateau, I apologize already. You're not going to be done with it as early as most of us. You can see how slowly this is moving. You're going to likely see some rain going in toward the afternoon. Everyone who's done with this main band that you're seeing settling in, this is the last 6 hours. So we're talking Clarksville, Dickson, Centerville, even Nashville right now. Not much more to worry about. We're overcast. We got some fog, and there will be an isolated sprinkle or two. But overall, pretty good looking. Things to know we're going to cover here in a few minutes. We're tracking the morning rain. Not quite as warm going into the weekend as we were earlier in the week, and I'm tracking showers and storms Friday into Saturday.
Up next on Fox 17 News this morning, we continue to follow the traffic out there on I-40 near Sawyer Brown and Bellevue. We're going to tell you why things have been...
It could happen.
We've been breathing this.
Lots of people don't realize that mold feeds off moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
Hey there, welcome back into Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now, 8:14. The search for love continues for this mid-state farmer. Ladies and gentlemen, we're introducing Mitchell Kalinsky, one of the stars of Fox's Farmer Wants a Wife.
Yeah, originally from Knoxville, but now you're over in Mount Juliet. Talk about the experience. I know you've been on our show previously, but how exciting is it to continue on with this?
So exciting. Really excited to be actually in the studio live with y'all, so thank you for having me.
All right, so Tennessee boy, born and raised. I was asking Mitchell during the commercial break, just because I was curious, what kind of car you drive? You said you got
2 F-250s and a 4Runner.
All right, so you're a truck guy.
Oh yeah,
as would
for
be
sure.
expected.
Yeah, you got to have one on the farm. I mean, I put it to work every day.
So, go ahead.
No, okay, so what's been the biggest surprise doing this whole thing?
Just the love from everybody that I've been able to meet. They're like, really, you're the farmer here in Nashville? It's in Mount Juliet? I went to the hockey game last night for the Predators, and people are stopping me. So that's been a great surprise and been really. I didn't run a podcast. I was I was on Janet Kramer's podcast. Yes.
Okay. And how did that go?
It went really well. We talked about a little message I sent her back in 2020 when she was
What was that
single.
message, Mitchell?
I was just reaching out to her and telling her how big of a fan I was, and I'd love to talk to her, yeah.
So the irony here now is that you are on Farmer Wants a Wife, and thrilled to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You seem like you're
I
having a
appreciate
really
it.
good time.
Oh yeah, happy to be here. This is amazing, beautiful place.
All right, Mitchell, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see how the rest of Farmer Wants a Wife plays out.
And you know what? I think as we send it over to Greg for the forecast, Greg, I think we need to plan a day trip after the show to your You Pick 'em farm.
Yeah, please do come out.
I'm
Does that
down.
sound like a good idea?
And I'll make sure that we're there and it's not, you know, the weather's cooperating for us, so it's not one of those rough
So maybe
days.
like after the show airs and stuff, Mitchell, we're going to make a field trip to your farm, okay?
That's awesome. Y'all are welcome anytime.
All right.
Holding you to it. Take a look right now, 8:17 your time, 57 degrees, we're cloudy. We had the rain overnight in Nashville. We got wet pavement everywhere across downtown. Keep that in mind even on the highways. It has caused some issues this morning, and it will continue to do so. Future Track trying to get this out of here for us going into the afternoon in the metro area. There will be a few little light sprinkles that do continue to just be annoying here throughout this morning. Keep the umbrella just in case. This afternoon, unfortunately, if you are in the Cumberland Plateau, you may linger with that rainfall through mid to late afternoon. Overnight, we dry out. Temperatures still in the 50s one more time. Tomorrow morning, we're going to wake up dry. We'll get a little bit of sunshine for the afternoon. Today, 65. That is it. Fairly cloudy. Tomorrow, we will definitely have a better chance to see some 70-degree temperatures and a little sunshine. I'm going to fast forward you now. This is going into your Friday. We're talking about the upcoming weekend. Here we are, 8 a.m. Yeah, not a whole lot happening just yet, but going into the afternoon, let's rack up what comes for you here as far as any potential rain chances later in the day. So here we are, noon on Friday through 1 p.m. Standard rainfall. Chance for some storms, though, very late in the day, evening into the overnight. Here's midnight. Yellow and orange indicate, yeah, there could be a broken line of storms that do track through right in the middle of the nighttime hours. Most of our rain is getting a little bit lighter for the morning, and then we finally clear out late Saturday. This one makes our temperatures even colder. Yeah. Take a look right here. We'll go real quick. 65 today, 70 tomorrow, and then we'll be in the low 60s by Saturday after that rain. 56 degrees on Sunday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get started here at I-40. This is at Sawyer Brown over in the Bellevue area. Things are very slow from coming in here from Bellevue, Kingston Springs, places like that. Fairview coming in from the west side. Things have been slow all morning, and they've been slow for days as people continue to slow down to take a look at the site where that plane crashed earlier in the week. There's no wreckage there, but people are still slowing down to look at it, and that's causing traffic backups here for several miles. Let's talk about what's going on. Oh, by the way, Charlotte Pike is how you can steer clear of that. Just want to drop that in. All right, now let's move on. I-24 at the Antioch area, Cane Ridge. Things have been slow here all morning. Let's take a look at those drive times right now. It's 82 minutes, about an hour and 20 minutes coming in from Murfreesboro. 67 minutes coming out from Clarksville. 48 minutes coming in from the west side from Kingston Springs down I-40.
Justin, thank you. Making headlines now. Metro police say a licensed bouncer at a popular Midtown bar knocked a 26-year-old unconscious.
And family members tell Fox 17 News that that victim, Justin Turner, was taken off of life support just yesterday.
Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse joining us now in studio. And Peyton, I know you had the opportunity to speak with his mother.
That's right, and his mother tells us that she wouldn't wish this upon anyone, and this happened right outside of Tin Roof, where the bouncer actually works. Metro Police say last month, Austin Turner and Tin Roof's bouncer, Richard Cornelius, got into an argument around 12:15 in the morning. According to police, the bouncer did not allow Turner back into the bar, and that's when a fight broke out. Police say Cornelius hit Turner and he fell to the ground, leaving Turner unconscious from that point on. Turner's family says his skull was fractured and surgery was not enough to stop massive strokes. Turner's family having to say goodbye after he fought for his life for 16 days. According to the affidavit, surveillance nearby shows Cornelius swinging at Turner several times and striking him at least once. The family says Turner was waiting for an Uber and they're asking for anyone with information to come forward. Now, Cornelius was let out on a $25,000 bond, and I actually reached out to the bar and we're waiting to hear back. In studio, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Red Station.
A controversial development plan has neighbors pushing back. We're going to hear how neighbors and leaders in Cheatham County get the chance to show and tell why they're against a new power plant.
That feeds you. Medicare Advantage from WellPoint. Your whole health is our whole point.
We have breaking news this morning from the Capitol. U.S. lawmakers are rushing to pass funding legislation ahead of a possible government shutdown for Friday. Now, the House is expected to vote on several key bills today. Taking a live look at the Capitol over there, the Senate must take up the measures after the House acts, though. The time crunch is even tighter, with President Joe Biden's State of the Union address taking up significant time tomorrow. But lawmakers, they say they're confident the spending package is going to be passed.
And check out our forecast here. I want to spend a little extra time on the 7-day because we didn't get the full picture here last time we checked in together. So here we go. I want to point out two different cool downs and two weather makers that we're working through with major implications when it comes to temperature and planning. Today, the rain is going to come to an end for us here throughout the morning hours west of I-65. East of I-65 into the afternoon. High temperature only 65 degrees. Nights are still good. We don't change that up too much. We stay right near the 50-degree mark tonight, tomorrow night, and Friday night. However, tomorrow, best day in the forecast by far until next week. 70 degrees, mostly cloudy, a little bit of a breeze ahead of what makes our way here Friday. Friday morning, an isolated shower, but the afternoon and evening, rain takes over the radar. Friday night into Saturday, thunderstorms do move in. As of right now, we're not seeing any indications of severe weather. We always watch for that first and foremost. That's not in the cards as of right now. But more showers and weak storms to wake up early on Saturday, then this happens. Cold front moves in. We go to the 30s to wake up to on Sunday morning and Monday morning. So don't necessarily think we're done with winter coats just yet.
Steer clear traffic at 8:25. Quick look here along I-24. This is at Waldron Road. As you make that drive in through Rutherford County, it's been slow all morning. Still around an hour and 20 minutes on that drive in from Murfreesboro. Justin, what does that mean? That means if you left Murfreesboro trying to get to Nashville right now, you wouldn't get there till around 9:45 or so. It would be that long of a drive. Yeah, I know, right? Here's a look at the drive coming in from Franklin. Here is I-65 at Boers Lane. That drive also slow. We do have a crash over in the zebra stripes right there at the exit, so that's well in hand, but people still driving a little slow coming in there. I think the drive is around 50 minutes right now from Franklin into downtown. You can take Franklin Pike to try and steer clear.
To put a methane plant in the middle of that is going to not only destroy our businesses, but it's going to destroy our property values. It's going to destroy our futures.
It is a heated topic of discussion right now and happening today. Those who could be impacted by a plan to put in a gas plant in Cheatham County have their chance to weigh in.
Now, Fox 17 News has told you about TVA's plans to use hundreds of acres for this project. That did not include transmission lines for it. TVA sent out a notice to people in Robertson and Cheatham counties whose property could be affected and part of this project. Now, if you did get a notice, TVA is holding a special open house today from noon until 7 at the Hampton Inn in Ashland City. If you can't make it, the agency is doing the same thing again on Thursday. Those living nearby, along with county leaders and several leaders in Cheatham County cities, have all gone on the record saying they are against the gas plant. In other news this morning, Metro Police are looking for 2 people accused of, listen to this, breaking into a Nashville laundromat. Now, police say that the suspects arrived at the Fabric Care Center on Dickerson Pike. This happened back on February the 11th. They were driving a silver Toyota sedan. They stole thousands of dollars of change from the machines inside that laundromat. If you have any information on these suspects or that car, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers.
Coming up in a few minutes, we have the latest from NTSB investigators on the tragic plane crash that claimed the lives of 5 people this week along I-40 East.
A live look from downtown Nashville right now, where we have the results of the Super Tuesday races, both locally and, of course, the presidential primary results are in. So we'll let you know how the local races have shaped up. President Trump winning.
Tornado can't be ruled out.
Fox 17 News alerts, empowers, protects. Tracking storms, what you'll need to prepare now for the week ahead. Today at 5:30. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning. Visibility not perfect out there, but rain conditions getting a little bit better in Nashville. However, a lot of us still seeing some showers coming down. I'll track those for you coming up in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic at 65 at Cool Springs Boulevard. A bit of a crash there on the shoulder. We're going to tell you about the biggest problems we're seeing out there so far.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Wednesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source, always here for you through 9 a.m. Let's get straight to our breaking news updates.
Well, Fox 17 News is working to get some more updates on the small plane crash that happened along I-40. We do understand that Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar, you've been reaching out to NTSB, who is leading this investigation, as well as our local crews. So we're going to get a live update right now.
Yeah, that's right. We've been reaching out to them for hours. We still haven't heard back, but the questions we are asking them are, what were the qualifications of the pilot? And also, we're working to identify the victims. Now, this is the exact spot the plane crashed. You can still see tire marks on the ground. And also, I managed to pick up a piece of that plane, and it all happened right next to the I-40 East. Yesterday, we were here as well covering this all day, and we did see investigators across the road working to find out what happened. At a press conference yesterday, Aaron McCarter, the air safety investigator with the National Transportation Safety Board, says they took a plane to a facility in Springfield. So far, they've uncovered that the plane had 3 children and 2 adults on board. It departed from Canada, made a couple stops before heading to the John C. Toone Airport and then crashing. Take a listen to the heartbreaking audio of the pilot talking to air traffic control moments before they lost their lives. We warn you, this may be disturbing to hear.
Right now, the most important thing to do is preserve the non-perishable evidence, and the perishable evidence, including witness statements, doorbell cameras. Costco right here, they have a video that we were able to acquire that showed the actual impact.
Who you just heard was from one of the NTSB investigators, but in regards to that sound from the pilot, he did mention that his engines weren't working and that unfortunately he wasn't going to make it. It was absolutely devastating, not just for those listening, but you can imagine the families of the people who lost their lives. Now, in regards to the investigation of the plane crash, the NTSB says that they will have a preliminary report in about 10 days. Reporting live in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
8:34, looking at your forecast this morning, and things are progressing pretty nicely here in the Nashville area. We're still worrying about some showers that are off toward our easternmost counties. You have not seen the rain really get any lighter over the course of the last 3 hours. And I'm going to show you just the last 3 hours. You've had the rain overnight, but things have gotten a little better in terms of intensity. Nashville, we've been navigating a little bit of fog here on the backside of the rain that tracked out around an hour and a half ago. Taking a look at Doppler radar, and you can see that Clarksville, you had a little break. Couple just little pitter patters out there. Now we're going to get right back into the more steady rainfall for a good hour and a half. Sparta, you're right in the middle of it. And honestly, these darker greens are the heaviest rainfall that we're seeing right now, which is good. We have no yellows. We have no oranges on the radar for us this morning. We've not had a clap of thunder at all overnight. This is the last 6 hours. You can see what I mean. The lookout toward Cookeville, Sparta, Crossville. This is overnight. We did have some more decent rain that came down. Since yesterday's rain started, some areas have seen 1 to 2 inches worth of rainfall. It's been steady. It's helpful because we have a drought that we're trying to get through, but also it is going to give you some standing water in some spots. We've even seen that in Nashville. 58 degrees right now downtown, fairly overcast. A little gloomy looking outside. Future track though. Let's get it out of here. How long does it take? Well, this will continue to track away from us throughout the morning. And aside from a stray sprinkle here, leading our way through 11 o'clock, we're relatively okay. The plateau, though, may last a little longer into the early afternoon hours. Taking a look overall, just a fairly cloudy day tomorrow. A little bit better, a little more sunshine, a little warmer. Today's highs only in the middle 60s.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's take a quick look outside, out and about. Let's get to I-24 Waldron Road. This is coming in from Rutherford County. Things have been slow throughout the morning, but now things have finally started to come down as you get out and about there this morning. The drive time starting to creep towards an hour. It was at an hour and a half at one point coming in from Murfreesboro into Nashville. So better news there. We were just watching a crash right here in the zebra stripes. THP was there. It's all gone. Coming in from Franklin this morning. So here are your fresh drive times for you. 44 minutes right now from Kingston Springs, 64 coming in from Murfreesboro, 44 coming in from Franklin, even though that time will start to change now that that crash has cleared.
Justin, thank you. Super Tuesday results are rolling in from across the country and predicting what could be another showdown between President Biden and former President Donald Trump.
Yes, so getting you updated now on Super Tuesday. Also, the latest that Nikki Haley is expected in about the next 20 minutes or so to announce that she is dropping out of the race. In Tennessee, Miss Haley and Mr. Trump facing off on the Republican ballot, with former President Trump taking about 77% of the Republican votes. He will receive our state's 51 delegates.
Yeah, so, and for the Democratic Party, President Biden getting the expected win in Tennessee with almost 8% of voters choosing uncommitted. Now we're all taking a closer look at what else is on the ballot when it comes to a close race for the District 1 Metro Nashville Public School Board seat. Take a look at your screen right now for some of these results. We do understand that Robert Taylor taking an edge over LaTanya Winfrey. The other 4 seats up for grabs in this year's elections are District 3, 5, 7, and 9. Now the general election, keep in mind, is set for the 1st of August.
Fox 17 News, your only live local news source through 9 a.m. Couple different live looks now, just showing you the rain that continues to impact your morning and the traffic that's also impacted. So more updates on both of those in just a couple of minutes.
And Jen mentioned about Nikki Haley, the breaking news. She is planning.
Call 299-CASH today.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection.
8:40 is the time. Do have some breaking news regarding politics, okay? We are learning more about Nikki Haley's plans to suspend her presidential primary bid. Right behind me here is a live look down in Charleston, South Carolina, where in about 20 minutes, Nikki Haley is planning to go ahead and make this announcement. Now, across the Republican primaries on Super Tuesday, we do know Haley won just 43 of the Republican delegates, while Trump won 764. And more breaking news, this time regarding the Federal Reserve. They are talking about no rush to cut interest rates. That is according to Fed Chair Jerome Powell's written testimony submitted to congressional lawmakers and released this morning. Powell is on Capitol Hill this week as well to give semi-annual reports on the central bank's actions since the summer. He does appear before a House committee this morning, and a Senate panel on Thursday.
Taking a look at your coded forecast through one of our four-legged friends, because the weather not just impacting us, but also just trying to get outside to get some business done for the four-legged friends. Taking a look at our dog of the day, Boomer. Boomer already has the ball ready to go. So When can you get outside? When will things dry out? Well, we're going to talk about some drying conditions for the afternoon, but right now we have wet pavement, we have wet grass. Boomer sent in by Hadley and Emmy from Spring Hill. You can get out there later today, but maybe keep a towel by the front door for some wet paw pads today. Dog walking forecast 50s this morning, but we'll get back to the 60s by 11, 12, 1 o'clock this afternoon. Might even sneak in a little peak of sunshine later in the day from the Nashville area. If you're out in the plateau, fairly cloudy day from start to finish. How do you send in your photographs? Well, you go to Dog of the Day. You go there for Facebook. Meteorologist Greg Bovis. You find that pinned post at the top of my page, and you just send in your photo, your name, where you're from, and you can see your dog right here on Fox 17 News this morning. Coming up in the next check of your forecast, we'll look at future track. We'll talk about daylight saving time, and we'll get you your 7-day forecast.
Up next on Fox 17 News this morning, just picked up a new crash, this one involving an 18-wheeler on the north side. We're going to tell you the best ways to steer clear.
Our property values are going to go down. I would say that if it passed, that most people is going to move out.
We've got a lot of folks concerned, and we're asking questions.
Be ready to bid and buy at the event of the year, Saturday, March the 9th at the Fairgrounds, Mayfield, Kentucky. Sale being conducted under the rhythm of the selling machine, James R. Cash, auction style.
Do you think this could have helped with affordable housing, or wouldn't have much of an impact?
The Fox 17 News team is asking big questions right now. A potential zoning change causing a stir among folks in Nashville, specifically Green Hills. Now, under this plan, builders would be allowed to tear down a single-family home and put in condos. We have some Metro Council members like Jacob Coopin who are introducing this for multifamily or two-family housing. He says it would create more options for affordable places to live. But there are other folks who are not on board.
This is not going to solve affordable housing completely across the board, but it does give a tool to allow for slightly smaller units with increased density.
I don't think it would have much of an impact. The way that it's proposed, it doesn't do anything, or there's no evidence to show that it will address affordable housing. What it will do is create more housing, but as we've seen in other areas across town, more housing doesn't mean lower cost housing.
That's Jennifer Gamble speaking out. Both Gamble and Coopin feel like there need to be some more conversations about this. We do know that the bills have been deferred for now, but they're going to take this back up again at their meeting coming up April 2nd. Mr. Coopin says it's possible this could be deferred until next year.
Yeah, that does lead to our Fox Nashville X account that we're asking over here. Do you think Nashville needs more affordable housing options? 61% of you all say yes. You can still go ahead and let us know what you think by casting your vote again on our Fox Nashville X page. Meanwhile, we're going to check in on that Wednesday morning forecast. Foggy start.
That it is, yeah. The rain was there first, then rain moved out. Warm enough temperatures, a little fog developed. It just looks kind of gloomy outside so far. It's not that bad with the temperatures. Those are going to get cold for the weekend. And this also happens this weekend. Have to keep mentioning it here because it really can mess with your sleep schedule. And just the way you observe the day in general could throw you off a little bit. Saturday night into Sunday morning, everything changes. Saturday, 6:05 will be your sunrise. 5:49, your sunset. Sunday, 7:04 the sunrise, 6:50 your sunset. So the sun won't rise until after 7 o'clock when the kids are going to school on Monday. Keep that in mind. Taking a look. Exercise forecast. 57 degrees goes to 63 by noon. We do have some rain in our easternmost counties. Only the plateau really seeing some rain right now. Everyone else could still see a sprinkle through 11 o'clock. Really quick little mist situation, but nothing really settled in. We had multiple hours worth of steady rainfall. That has all begun to move to the east, and it will continue to track out this afternoon, relatively dry. And if we're lucky, the areas that aren't seeing the rain right now have a chance to bring in a little bit of sunshine right before we get to sunset. Not a guarantee, but we may end the day with a few bursts of some sunshine. Tomorrow, completely dry, much more sun than today. Today just stays cool, 65 degrees for a high temperature. Tomorrow, up near 70. Enjoy these warmer temps while they last because the weekend cools down quite a bit. Friday into Saturday, showers and non-severe thunderstorms bring in a cold front. Look at the blue boxes that have the numbers that have your low temperatures. We'll go from 50 degrees at night Friday night to 38 degrees at night Saturday night into Sunday morning. You're waking up Sunday and Monday with temperatures that are going to warrant a winter coat after we hit 78 this past Monday. So we're not quite done with the cold stuff just yet.
Note to self, get the sweaters back out. All right, thank you. Steer clear traffic. Let's take a look at I-65 from Dickerson Pike as you make that drive in from the north side. Dealing now with a disabled tractor trailer here on the shoulder. You can see it made an effort to get off the road. It just couldn't. So instead, it's got one lane blocked. THP is there, or TDOT is there. Metro Police are there, squeezing everything over, and this causing a bit of a slowdown. From this area, you can take Dickerson Pike as your best way to steer clear because you're not even all the way to Ellington Parkway yet to even take it. So Dickerson Pike is going to be how you steer clear of that. This is your drive coming in on I-24 from Hickory Hollow Parkway, coming through Antioch, Smyrna, Laverne, looking a lot better than we did a few minutes ago. We are now dipping around an hour to make that drive in. It was around an hour and a half a few minutes ago.
New this morning, Tennessee lawmakers are debating the state's definition of abortion. Last night, a House subcommittee failed to pass a bill that would remove the disposal of embryos resulting from fertility treatments from the state's definition.
Now, legal experts say the wording in the bill is not specific enough. Let's listen.
Attorney General opinion that you have referenced states that disposing of an embryo that was created outside of a woman's body and that has never been transferred to a woman's body does not qualify as an abortion. Only when an embryo has been transferred to a woman's body would it be considered to be living within a woman's body. I think what you're referring to is that the language in the bill does not differentiate between embryos that have been implanted versus unimplanted embryos.
So the debate in Tennessee comes after an Alabama Supreme Court ruling just last month, which decided that frozen embryos resulting from IVF can be called a child. Alabama's governor could sign a bill to restore IVF treatments as soon as today.
Right now, though, we're talking about a topic we've been covering extensively, right? Metro Police reminding folks to lock their car door, secure any valuables. I know it sounds like, of course you would do this, but just a reminder here, they're talking about especially guns. Because this year alone, 147 guns have been stolen from cars in Nashville. 21 guns stolen from cars just last week alone. Metro Police say cars are easy targets because keys are left inside or made available to thieves.
Metro Nashville Police asking for help finding the man you see right here on your screen. This is Teddy Cooper. They say he's wanted for attempted criminal homicide and aggravated assault. We're told those charges stem from a Thursday night shooting at an apartment on Star Boulevard in Madison. Police say Cooper's roommate got seriously hurt. The two men had been arguing right before the shooting. If you have any information about Cooper's whereabouts, please call Crime Stoppers. That number is 615-742-74.
One-piece fiberglass pools, cold plunge with chill springs, patio sets up to 70% off retail. Come visit our 5 convenient locations. PoolSpaDepot.com.
In Operation Crime and Justice, a Midtown bouncer facing criminal charges after police say he put up a patron in the hospital.
Yeah, that victim has currently been taken off of life support. He's on the left, but Richard Cornelius is on the right, and Cornelius is that bouncer accused of attacking Austin. I want to make sure I get the name right here. Hang on just one second. Austin Turner, right? So the two people involved, Richard Cornelius, the bouncer, Austin Turner, the victim. Austin was just outside of the tin roof on Division Street back on February 18th. And police tell us that when Cornelius hit him, Turner fell and hit his head. We do understand that Mr. Turner is still in the hospital, but he is taken off of life support. His family says the Hendersonville native was just at the bar waiting on an Uber. Police say the fight started when Turner tried to go back into the tin roof. Cornelius has been released on a $25,000 bond.
And the search continues for this 7-year-old girl reported missing from Rutherford County. The TBI says Iris Crum was last seen March 1st in Murfreesboro near Blue Fox Trail. And they're also searching for Iris's mother, 30-year-old Kalia Serrata, who is wanted by the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office for custodial interference. If you have any information about where these two could be, you are asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
And one last check of your forecast here. Temperatures are bouncing all over the place. 65 degrees later on this afternoon. Showers ending from west to east.
As we leave you this protection, you're going to have this size if you want a crossbody or a bigger one for your devices. You can pick this up today for up to 50% off. Go to asadeals.com.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
Johnny, it's great to have you on the show.
It's amazing to be here.
You know, you and I have been talking about getting you on the Rock and Review for like a year or so.
We have.
And man, your songs are blowing up with these singles that you've been putting up. And how do you choose? What a song. What a video.
It was the hardest song I ever had to write. It really was. You know, that song came from a place of losing my best friend in Afghanistan and just kind of asking the question of why am I here? You know, I was injured in Afghanistan as well, and I was injured pretty badly enough to where it doesn't make sense of why I'm here, and people who weren't injured as much as